Chapter 1261. This was the first time Kong Cheong had met someone who could destroy everything with brute force. The sword techniques that he was proficient in were both hard and soft. At his realm, it was rare for him to meet someone like this. Today was the only time he had met someone like this. Only when the punishment team was in a desperate situation did Kong Cheong use the talisman. It was totally worth it to kill such a powerful existence. Sword Immortal by D's disciple wasn't someone anyone could kill. One had to pay the price. The black storm continued to spin and didn't stop. Instead, it spun at a terrifying speed, turning large pieces of rocks into dust. Is he not dead? Kong Cheong had a bad feeling. If the person in the storm was killed, everything would stop. The current situation was completely different from what he had imagined. Could he still be alive? Hua, hua, hua. The black storm exploded like a water bag, and towering waves surged up. Kong Cheong sensed great fear, and the sword landed in his hand once more. His aura rose, and his sword intent surged forward while he retreated. The waves were too fast, like ripples. Those sword intents disintegrated the moment they met. What kind of power is this? Kong Cheong hesitated for a moment, and the waves washed over him. Bang! 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 The terrifying power of the ripples exploded on his body, and he was sent flying. The second wave rushed over, and Kong Cheong was completely shocked as he vomited large mouthfuls of blood. King of Darkness, what are you waiting for? After 2 consecutive attacks, Kong Cheong's vitality was greatly injured, and the third wave came. Death! Boundless death aura! He couldn't block this wave of power anymore. King of Darkness, I advise you not to be a good person. A cold voice rushed towards the King of Darkness. The King of Darkness had been watching from the side. Who would have thought that the situation would change so drastically? The sword intent left by Sword Immortal by D couldn't kill the masked man, and Kong Cheong himself was in grave danger. To help or not to help? The King of Darkness hesitated. If he helped Kong Cheong, he would immediately become a target. Kong Cheong was heavily injured, and he had less than 10% of his combat strength left. He had become a burden, and he didn't have the confidence to deal with the masked man alone. King of Darkness, you saved me. I owe you a favor. Kong Cheong kept using secret techniques to resist the black ripples, but he couldn't block them. King of Darkness, you're a smart person. If you help him, do you think you'll have a chance to leave this place? That voice came again. As the third disciple of the Realm Lord, when had the Darkness King ever been threatened like this before? He spoke in a low voice. Sir, are you threatening me? This is the Tuyun Great World. If you kill me, you won't be able to escape from Master's wrath. King of Darkness, stop talking nonsense and help. The black ripples drew closer and closer. If I were you, I definitely wouldn't do anything. If he dies, then so be it. When the time comes, I'll just shift the blame to someone else. No one will know. Could it be that Sword Immortal by D will personally come to investigate? The King of Darkness wasn't confident that he could defeat the fellow in front of him. If even Sword Immortal by D's sword could not kill him, how could he not be terrifying? The moment the King of Darkness hesitated, the black ripples swept past Kong Cheong's body once more. The immortal armor on Kong Cheong's body started to crack inch by inch, and the pieces of armor started to dance in the air before being drowned by the black ripples. Captain! Kong Cheong's tattered body fell from the sky. The punishment team of the Black Immortal Sword cried out. Their captain had been killed. They were originally at a disadvantage, but now that they were distracted, the black cudgel smashed down, and the sky was filled with shadows. The 21st step Sword Immortal Emperors were sent flying, and the entire formation collapsed. Ha ha ha, all of you are dead. Explosion destruction charged towards the nearest Immortal Emperor and smashed his black cudgel down. Before that first step Immortal Emperor could react, his body was smashed into a pile of mud. Kill, kill, kill. These fellows are too weak. The formation formed by explosion destruction had terrifying strength. With a single cudgel, no one could block its sharpness. The immortal emperors of the punishment team felt their scalps go numb. Their proud identities were useless at this moment. They fled in all directions, but they were unable to escape from explosion destruction's pursuit. One immortal emperor after another was killed. Satisfying, this is really satisfying. Explosion destruction killed the last one, kept all the corpses and walked over. Master, should we beat this guy to death? Blitzkrieg, who was holding his black iron rod, looked at the King of Darkness. It seemed as though he would beat the King of Darkness to death as soon as Lin Fei gave the word. Sir, you killed the punishment team and Captain Kong Cheong. You can't possibly start a massacre and kill me too, right? The King of Darkness's brows twitched. What was the background of these fellows? Why were they all like this? They were filled with dense killing intent. King of Darkness, you are the host here, so why would I kill you? I'm afraid that you will chase me all the way. After killing the punishment team under Sword Immortal by D, Lin Fei was already satisfied. King of Darkness was the disciple of the World Lord, and he had a high status. There was no need to offend the World Lord for now. Chase, you even destroyed the punishment team, so there was no need for you to treat this young master as a threat. This was the first time the King of Darkness had seen such an arrogant fellow. In his heart, he regretted not bringing more experts with him. He had been careless and fallen into Lin Fan's trap. Sir, you are strong, so why would you be afraid of being chased? The King of Darkness didn't want to have any relations with these people. You killed the punishment team, so you better find a place to hide. You killed the punishment team, and above them, there are still Earth and Heaven Realm experts. Their combat power is terrifying. Many thanks. In the future, if I have the fortune to fight with them, I will definitely thank you for what you said today. Lin Fei waved his hand. Let's go. The King of Darkness's face sank. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have said anything. The King of Darkness wasn't happy with Sword Immortal by D's disciple. Young Master, should we inform our men outside to kill them? One of his subordinates asked in a trembling voice. Let them go. The King of Darkness waved his hand. From the earlier battle, how could he not tell that regardless of whether it was the dark-skinned man or the fellow with the iron rod, both of them weren't people to be trifled with? Even if he were to make a move himself, he would have to pay a huge price. With his men outside, it wouldn't even be enough to stop them. 21st Step Immortal Emperors, including Captain Kong Cheong, had died in the hands of the other party. The King of Darkness didn't want to pay a price, so there was no need for him to do so. Send someone to the Tianyun Tower to investigate the origin of this group. The King of Darkness really wanted to know where these people came from. Right now, the King of Darkness was at a loss on how to resolve this matter. Could he say that he had been watching from the sidelines, but the other party was too strong and he could only watch as they were killed? If he really said that, it would be a problem whether the other party would believe him. Big trouble, this is really big trouble. Master, how did we kill that guy just now? One look and I knew that he was up to no good. Lin Fei didn't take off his mask. It's enough for us to kill the punishment team. As for the King of Darkness, there's no need to deal with him. He has a headache now. So many people have died, and they are all disciples of Sword Immortal by D. There's no way he can explain himself. The exit of the land of destruction. Lin Fei rushed out, and 2 members of the punishment team rushed over. Stop! You're not allowed to leave. Just as he said that, Bao Mia and the others rushed forward and killed the 2 members of the punishment team. Killer, Samsara. No one dared to stop Lin Fei from charging out with his men. Suddenly, a thought occurred to him, and he tossed out a name and swaggered off. During this time, some people tried to attack, but were killed, leaving a bloody trail. Not long after, a shocking piece of news spread. It was like a heavy bomb had been dropped on a flat land. The punishment team had been annihilated. The person who killed them even left his name, Samsara. This news spread like the wind in the Tuyun great world. The upper echelons were shocked. For a world controlled by a realm lord, such a big thing hadn't happened in a long time. But someone really did it right under their noses. How audacious! The upper echelons of the Tuyun great world were furious. Soon there was a bounty on Samsara's head, offering a high bounty for their capture. The Tuyun great world was too slow. By the time they issued the bounty, Lin Fei had already left the Tuyun great world. After coming out, Lin Fei wasn't in a hurry to return. Instead, he sent a message saying that he would stay outside for a few more days and would return later. After killing Sword Immortal by Dee's disciple, Lin Fei wasn't in a hurry to return. He didn't want to be targeted and attract trouble. "Master, where are we going now?" After devouring the corpse of a first-step immortal emperor, they felt extremely refreshed. Their strength had increased again. "Master, I suggest that we find a place to increase our strength," Broken Axe said fiercely, but he pointed out an important point. Indeed, we need to increase our strength. Regardless of what the King of Darkness meant, Lin Fei already knew that he would be facing the Earth-ranked punishment team. Their overall strength would be even more terrifying. Lin Fei also discovered that this formation wasn't perfect. There were 12 people and only 10 of them. There was indeed an impact. There was a difference in everyone's strength, and some of them had yet to become immortal emperors. In order to deal with them, he had to increase their strength. Snake, Demon, Sky Dragon, they had to be summoned and integrated into the formation to increase their strength. As long as they all became immortal emperors, the formation's strength would increase greatly. There is a difference in strength between us. It isn't balanced. Bao Extermination nodded. The power of my staff technique hasn't reached its limit yet. If they were all first-step immortal emperors, we would have broken their formation long ago. Killing them would be as easy as flipping our palms. Lin Fei didn't doubt this at all. This was a formation specially targeted at the 12 battle generals. Who would dare to underestimate it? After this battle, Lin Fei was even more confident. Chapter 1262. The commotion in the Tuyun Great World could not be hidden. The punishment team under Sword Immortal White Emperor was completely annihilated. There was even news that the killer was Samsara, causing many forces to secretly keep an eye on this Samsara, especially at the exit. 2 members of the punishment team were brutally killed in front of everyone. The punishment team was made up of first-step immortal emperors, and all of them were sword immortals. Their battle prowess was several times higher than others of the same level. Realm Lord Tuyun was furious and personally issued a warrant for Samsara's arrest. In addition, Sword Immortal White Emperor also released news to hunt down Samsara. The bounty was so high that it made people jealous. Imperceptibly, the myriad worlds were in chaos. When Sword Immortal White Emperor released the news, everyone realized that this was a chance to curry favor with Sword Immortal White Emperor. As a result, everyone became even crazier. Unknowingly, the black market also issued a warrant to hunt down Samsara. The target was also Samsara. Unknowingly, this Samsara was known by everyone. Everyone knew that capturing Samsara would benefit them. Just as everyone was in an uproar, the Samsara mask and the others disappeared. No matter how many people they sent out, Samsara disappeared without a trace. In the next few years, there was news of Samsara appearing from time to time. Every time they appeared, they were in danger. The most recent appearance was said to be in the Endless Sea region. They hunted sea beasts and massacred them, causing the experts of the Sea Clan to chase after them. 5 years. In a space, young Master Sword God sat in a pavilion by the lake. A maid stood beside him, pouring tea for him. "Young Master, we did not do our job well. Please punish us." Opposite the young man, a few young people knelt on the ground, their bodies trembling slightly. If Lin Fei was here, he would definitely be able to recognize that this young man in white was the sword god that he had killed in the lower realms. Compared to before, the sword god today had a sharp sword intent. The sword intent around him rippled. Useless. A bunch of useless people. You can't even follow one person. The cup in front of the young master, sword god, exploded. The tea spilled everywhere. With a flick of his hand, water droplets shot out. The few young people in front of him groaned and were all sent flying. Young master, being angry is not good for your health. You don't have to be angry over such a small matter. The maid at the side said softly, "They're a bunch of good-for-nothings. In 5 years, they haven't even found the shadow of Lin Fei. What use do I have for them?" Young master, sword divine's face twisted. The elder brothers and elders of the sect aren't satisfied with me. Some of them even blamed the death of the immortals of ice and fire, the punishment squad, and Kong Cheong's death on me. Bunch of old fogies. In the past, one of his clones in the lower realm had been destroyed by someone, causing his almost complete cultivation technique to be crippled. Sword god Prince hated Lin Fei to the core. When Lin Fei ascended, young master sword god had secretly sent people to kill him. Who would have thought that Lin Fei would escape? Coupled with the fact that young master sword god was in seclusion, a mere heavenly immortal coming to the great metropolis celestial world was simply courting death. The moment he came out of seclusion, the sword god young master heard a piece of bad news. In just a few years, not only did Lin Fei not die, but he also made breakthroughs and reached a terrifying height. In the end, he destroyed the Nether Palace with his own hands. This was a slap in the face to the arrogant sword god young master. Thus, even with the help of the immortals of ice and fire, they were still defeated. This made the sword god young master grit his teeth. How could Lin Fei, who was in the lower realm, grow to this realm? The sword god young master was unwilling to accept this, so he once again arranged for his subordinates to deal with Lin Fei in the dark. Who would have thought that in 5 years, Lin Fei would never appear? He didn't see Lin Fei, but the immortals of ice and fire were destroyed. Instead, the flames of war spread to him. "Sword god, come over." In the air above the lake, a face appeared and said something to sword god before disappearing. "Master is looking for me." The sword god young master's twisted face returned to normal. "Continue to keep an eye on him." The sword god young master stood up and flew into the sky, crossing the void and landing in a small courtyard. Under a celestial tree in the courtyard stood an old man with a sage-like demeanor. "Master, you are looking for me?" In front of his master, the sword god young master was very respectful. "I heard that you have always wanted to deal with Lin Fei?" The sword god young master said, "Yes, disciple can't take this lying down. Sadly, that guy is like a mouse, never appearing again." Sword god Qingyan looked at his disciple. Among all the disciples, this disciple was the most favored. He almost cultivated a great secret technique, but sadly he failed at the last moment. "You really want to deal with Lin Fei?" The sword god young master was overjoyed. Disciple and Lin Fei have an irreconcilable feud. Disciple must kill him. If I don't kill him, disciple can't rest easy. That's fine too. There is a big matter recently. If you can obtain the qualifications, it shouldn't be difficult to deal with your enemies in the lower realm. Sword god Qingyan said, "In the entire universe, there will be a total of 18 realm lords fighting for it. Your hometown, great metropolis world, just happens to have one." The sword god young master's eyes lit up. Disciple is willing to go. His master was under sword god white emperor, one of the 3 sword immortals. He was also known as one of the 3 giants. With your qualifications, master actually plans to arrange for you to fight for the qualifications in the other worlds. Your hometown great metropolis world is too weak, sword god Qingyuan said. You have to think carefully about this matter. The mortals in the lower realm will wait for you to become the realm lord. It will be a simple matter. No, disciple wants to go to great metropolis world. The sword god young master's expression turned malevolent. Back then, if it wasn't for Lin Fei, disciple definitely wouldn't have failed at the last moment. He has already become disciple's heart demon. Disciple must kill him personally, as well as the Holy Heaven Academy under his name. Disciple must destroy everything that belongs to Lin Fei. Sword god Qingyuan sighed lightly. Fine, I'll give you 3 days to think about it. 3 days later, your senior brothers and sisters will fight with you for the qualifications. The sword god young master's eyes flashed coldly as he thought, Lin Fei, just you wait. This time, I will take back all the hatred from back then. I will let you know what despair is. I will destroy your strength bit by bit. Ha 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 ha, great metropolis world. Skycrack sect. This was the #1 sect in the past. In recent years, it had always been holed up without any movements. It seemed like it was recuperating. The Skycrack sect's reputation was far from what it was a few years ago. Junior brother Duan, you sure are enjoying yourself. On the mountain behind the Skycrack sect, Duan Yun, Immortal Emperor, was drinking wine. In the void, loud laughter could be heard. Immortal Emperors with powerful auras walked out. There was a total of 12 Immortal Emperors. Senior brothers, you are finally here. I have waited so long for you. Duan Yun, Immortal Emperor, stood up and said excitedly. Chapter 1263. When the senior brothers saw junior brother Duan Yun's appearance, their expressions couldn't help but change. Junior brother, what happened? Is it really that Lin Fei? The leader of the 12 senior brothers had a stocky build and sharp eyebrows. When he raised his eyebrows, he could see his junior brother's exhaustion and powerlessness. They had a good relationship with Duan Yun. They knew junior brother Duan Yun's personality very well. In the sect, he was very arrogant. When they heard that he had gone to a small world to be the sect leader, they were all envious. At least he could enjoy the breeze for a while. Once he did his job well, his status in the sect would immediately rise. But who would have thought that in just a few years Immortal Emperor Duan Yun would complain to them? This kind of thing was rare. Immortal Emperor Duan Yun invited the senior brothers to sit down and arranged for people to serve immortal wine. After some small talk, he poured out his grievances. He told them about how he had dealt with Lin Fei a few years ago. Junior brother Duan Yun, I was wondering why your Sky Fisher sect is so quiet. It turns out that it's Lin Fei's doing. This Lin Fei is too bold. Who doesn't know that junior brother is from the sky-piercing sect? He still dares to strut around. Senior brother, let's go and destroy that Lin Fei. Not everyone can bully us from the sky-piercing sect. Today, we're here to help you vent your anger. These senior brothers were also bored to death in their own world. This time, the higher-ups had asked them to help. In their opinion, no one dared to go against the sky-piercing sect. Hearing that the #1 sect was holed up, they were the first to be unhappy. They shouted that they would go and teach Lin Fei a lesson. Stop! Who gave you permission to go? All of you, stand still! The burly man from before shouted. They who were rubbing their fists and rubbing their palms felt as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over them. They were full of fear towards the burly man and really stopped. We can't let a bumpkin bully our junior brother, can we? Someone said unhappily. They were all immortal emperors of the Tongtian sect. Only the Tongtian sect could have so many immortal emperors. Duan Yun, Immortal Emperor, was really worried that they would come knocking on his door. Fellow senior brothers, Lin Fei is not easy to deal with. If you want to deal with Lin Fei, you must think thrice before acting. Junior brother is right, the burly man said. If I'm not wrong, the reason why Lin Fei didn't attack you is probably because of the Tongtian door. Senior brother Zhuyu, you're the best. You saw through me with one look. Duan Yun, Immortal Emperor, did not feel embarrassed. Lin Fei was not easy to deal with. Over the past few years, Holy Heaven Academy's influence had been expanding. and it was hailed as the #1 academy in the great metropolis world. The meaning behind their words was clear. The #1 power. Since we're already here, there's no hurry to deal with Lin Fei. Immortal Emperor Zhui tried to calm everyone down. Junior brother, the reason we are here to help you on this trip is actually to help you obtain the position of Realm Lord. This way, we can expand the influence of our heavenly sect. The higher-ups are very concerned about this matter. They were all from the heavenly sect. They all knew the importance of a Realm Lord. Once one became a Realm Lord, one would be qualified to participate in many great mystic realms, forbidden grounds, and other places. This was a privilege that belonged to a Realm Lord. The great metropolis realm was just a small world. In their hands, it could be of great use. Duanyun, Immortal Emperor's expression turned solemn. Junior brother is also preparing for the matter of becoming a Realm Lord. We will definitely not let the sect down. There's a prerequisite, and that is to get rid of Lin Fei. Only with him in the great metropolis realm will he be a terrifying enemy for us. Some senior brothers were dissatisfied. Junior brother, it's just one Lin Fei. Don't boost their morale and diminish our own. How strong can he be? Coming from the heavenly sect, they looked down on outsiders. Duanyun, Immortal Emperor, wanted to remind them, but he also knew that they were arrogant and could not be reassured with a few words. He forced himself to say, Junior brother, it's better to advise everyone to be careful. Zhuo Yu, Immortal Emperor, shook his head slightly. Where was the arrogance of this junior brother? A mere Lin Fei scared him to this extent. Wasn't this diminishing the prestige of the heavenly sect? Once things had stabilized, he must teach Lin Fei a good lesson. To dare bully people from the heavenly sect, they must be tired of living. Young master, you're finally back. It was a dark and windy night, in a forbidden ground of the great metropolis realm. The ferocious beasts that were seen as a flood by golden immortals and zenith immortals had long disappeared out of fear. A white-haired young man stood with his back facing the crowd. Behind the young man, on the left and right sides, stood men in black. They were brimming with murderous intent and traces of sword chi. The pebbles exploded. There were many people kneeling on the ground. They were all looking at the white-haired man with fanaticism. My sword god is back! The white-haired man turned his head. His white hair draped over his shoulders. Sword intent swirled in his left and right eyes. He was the sword god young master who had won the qualification and returned. That day, the sword god young master defeated his senior brother and chose the great metropolis realm as his goal. Everyone was shocked. He gave up the opportunity to become a great realm lord and chose to become a minor realm lord. Was it worth it to kill a lower realm kid? Who knows how many people were discussing in private? Young master, you're back. You will definitely be able to kill Lin Fei and avenge the Netherworld Palace. Lin Fei is just a lower realm guy. How can he be the young master's opponent? These people were all the people from the Netherworld Palace who retreated in advance. They didn't die in that battle and kept in touch. They only showed up when they came back. Young master, what should we do next? Are we going to kill the Holy Heaven Academy? These people thought about the young master for a long time. The sword god young master sneered. Don't worry. Since this young master is back, dealing with Lin Fei is only a matter of time. Now we should go visit the old people. Visit the old people. The remaining people of the Netherworld Palace didn't come back to their senses. Holy Heaven Academy. In these few years, with the expansion of its influence, the overall strength of the Holy Heaven Academy was improving. Junior brother Lin, you're really good at running. You've already left for a few years. The World Overlord battle is going to start in another 2 years. You mustn't delay, or things would be bad for you. At that time, I'll pick a world and inform everyone. Saint 33 stood at the lakeside and looked at the sky, at the figures flying past unceasingly. He couldn't help but mutter. Regarding the current development, Saint 33 was very satisfied. In these few years, he went from initial first step Celestial Emperor to intermediate First step, Celestial Emperor. His combat strength had increased by a lot. This was something that he didn't dare to imagine in the past. Vice Dean, this is bad. A streak of light charged over from not far away. Vice Dean Sue-E landed with an ugly expression on his face. This fellow had been cultivating hard for the past few years, and with the resources of the Academy, his strength had reached the Celestial Emperor realm. It was already not bad for him to be a Vice Dean. As the Vice Dean, Saint 33 was the one with the greatest authority. Seeing Su-1's reaction, he felt that he should give him a reminder. Su-1, you are now the Vice Dean and an Immortal Emperor expert. You have to be steady when you do things. Even if the mountain falls and the earth cracks, you have to remain calm. Su-E lowered his head in shame. I understand. Saint 33 was very satisfied. Dean Saint, this is bad. Just as he said that, another person came. It was Elder Du Tao. His strength was also at the Celestial Emperor realm. He had the combat strength of a half-step Celestial Emperor. This was all thanks to the large amount of resources that Lin Fei had left behind. It was simply wishful thinking for anyone to break through continuously without cultivation resources. What's the matter? You guys! After Elder Du Tao came down, a few other elders rushed over. Saint 33 realized that this matter wasn't simple. Otherwise, they wouldn't have rushed over. What happened? Look at all of you. Saint 33's face turned black. Look at the Vice Dean and the elders. The crowd didn't know whether to laugh or cry. They didn't say anything. After all, their status and actions were indeed different from others. Principal Saint, we just received news that 2 of the 6 great sects have merged. The 2 sect leaders have also fallen, and the higher-ups have all joined a new sect. As the vice principal, Su-E was still unable to remain calm and hurriedly spoke. Who did it? 2 sects merging? How is this possible? Could it be done by external forces? Saint 33 was shocked. This was definitely a big matter. Elders, you look at me, I look at you. Sword God, young master did it. He rebuilt Netherworld Palace. This was what Su-E said. Netherworld Palace. This time, Saint 33 finally understood their expressions. Sword God Young Master had made a comeback and annihilated 2 sections. He took in their people. His overall strength was many times stronger than Netherworld Palace. Dean Saint, should we inform the Dean to come back? These elders knew about the conflict between Netherworld Palace and the Dean. This was a great hatred that could not be extinguished. One side had to fall before it would end. Saint 33 realized the seriousness of the matter. Sword God Young Master came with such force. He will definitely gnash his teeth at our Saint Heaven Academy. Immediately inform all the students and elders to return to the Academy. Also, prohibit everyone from going out. At least before the Boundary Lord War ends. No one is allowed to go out. Elder Du Tao said, I will do it immediately. Go open the outermost layer of the Academy's array. From today onwards, everyone must be careful. Sword God Young Master is vengeful. He will definitely act against our Academy. Before the Dean returns, no one is allowed to act recklessly. Saint 33 warned. As expected of a sword immortal, his methods are extraordinary. Heaven Fisher Sect, Immortal Emperor Zhuyu, and the rest received the news. They had heard of Sword God Young Master under Sword Immortal Baidi. He was cruel and vengeful. On top of that, he was a sword immortal. His battle strength was extremely strong. Immortal Emperor Zhuyu said, For Lin Fei, Sword God Young Master returned to his hometown and gave up on becoming a great Boundary Lord. This kind of person is the most terrifying. This Boundary Lord War will be very interesting. Duanyun Immortal Emperor said, What do you think we should do? Chapter 1264. The Nether Palace had made a comeback. Such a big thing couldn't be hidden. The next morning, the news spread like wildfire. All the big and small forces were shocked. The Nether Palace that had been single-handedly destroyed by Demon Lin had once again made a comeback. They were several times stronger than before. The mysterious sword god young master was in charge of the Nether Palace. It was shocking and terrifying. After the Nether Palace had been destroyed, some celestial emperors had called for a meeting to deal with Demon Lin. However, Demon Lin took care of them quickly, and a few sects were destroyed. It had only been a few years, and the sword god young master was back. The two sects that were destroyed were usually close to Holy Sky Academy. Who would have thought that the situation would change overnight? There was going to be a good show. Many of the big shots shook their heads. The smart ones had already linked it to the upcoming fight for the Sector Lord. The sword god young master had rebuilt the Nether Palace to fight for the Sector Lord. Apart from that, he had another intention to deal with Lin Fei of Holy Sky Academy. Everyone knew what was going on between the two. A few days later, just as everyone was waiting to see if the Nether Palace would make a move against Holy Sky Academy, something big happened in the great metropolis world. The sky-cracking sect, which had been keeping a low profile, took advantage of the fact that everyone was distracted by the Nether Palace to attack and destroy the other two sections. By the time everyone reacted, the sky-cracking sect had taken control of the situation. Their overall strength had increased once again, and they were now stronger than the Nether Palace. Back then, the sky-cracking sect had targeted Holy Sky Academy with the Tongtian Gate behind them. In the end, they were easily dealt with by Lin Fei. They lost face and many experts. In the next few years, they kept a low profile and gave up many territories. This time, they realized that they had underestimated the sky-cracking sect. The Tongtian Gate support was indeed not simple. First, it was the sword god young master's domineering return. Then the sky-cracking sect took advantage of when everyone was unprepared and bared their fangs, catching everyone off guard. A storm was coming. Junior brother, you're finally back. Half a year later, Lin Fei, who had not returned for a long time, had finally returned. Saint 33 had lost a lot of hair these days. The situation in the great metropolis world was constantly changing. The Holy Heaven Academy was like a tall tree that attracted the wind, and it was already at the top of the waves. Upon hearing that his junior brother had returned, Saint 33 immediately rushed over. A relieved expression appeared on his exhausted face. With junior martial brother back, this old man can relax. Even though everything in the Elysium Academy was on track, Saint 33 felt that he had lost his backbone. Now that Lin Fei had returned, his heart was at ease. Especially with the recent situation, Saint 33 was having a headache. Senior brother, what's wrong? You look like you haven't rested for a long time. Lin Fei couldn't help but be shocked when he saw Saint 33's exhausted appearance. At the Immortal Emperor realm, one's essence, chi, and spirit should all be at the peak. Why would one feel so fatigued? It was as though something was pressing down on him. Lin Fei didn't understand. It's because of the battle between sector lords. Lin Fei slapped his forehead. How could I forget about this? All these years he had been leading Bao Mia and the rest to hunt and increase their strength. He really didn't pay much attention to the battle between sector lords. After seeing Saint 33's appearance, he felt rather apologetic. What made Saint 33 tremble in fear in the academy was that he was incompetent as the dean. He had to reflect on himself. Rumble, rumble, just as Saint 33 was preparing to report the situation. A loud rumbling sound came from outside. At this moment, outside the Elysium Academy, two middle-aged men, who were first-step immortal emperors, were activating immortal artifacts and treasures and blasting them towards the Elysium Academy. Rays of light appeared in the sky above the Academy. Elysium Academy's bastards, you guys can really endure. It's already been half a year. One of the immortal emperors mocked, and his voice echoed in the sky above the Academy. Elysium Academy's bastards. What #1 faction in the great metropolis world? You guys only know how to hide in the array. Sooner or later, this emperor will charge in and kill all of you. Outside the Elysium Academy, Two first-step immortal emperors were leading people and insulting Elysium Academy unscrupulously. Perhaps in order to let everyone hear them, the two immortal emperors activated their immortal energy. Their thunderous voice reverberated throughout the entire great metropolis world. After the two immortal emperors mocked for a while, they handed it over to their subordinates to continue. The insults continued, and the insults became more and more unpleasant. It was hard to imagine that these words came out of their mouths. It's already been half a year. The Elysium Academy can really endure. The Netherworld Palace's methods are also dishonorable. They directly blocked the Elysium Academy and prevented their students from going out and outsiders from entering. I heard that the Netherworld Palace did this to provoke Demon Lin and force him out. Who doesn't know that the divine sword prince of the Netherworld Palace has an irreconcilable feud with Demon Lin? It's strange. It's already been half a year. According to Demon Lin's temper, he definitely won't swallow his anger and come out to deal with them a long time ago. Why is there no movement until now? Idiot! I heard that Demon Lin isn't in the Elysium Academy. The Netherworld Palace is purposely coming to the Elysium Academy. That's true. After all, there's at least a third-step demon emperor in the depths of the Elysium Academy. He's extremely powerful and has an extraordinary background. The divine sword prince won't act rashly. Moreover, the competition for the Realm Lord is approaching. Outside the Elysium Academy, the scouts were discussing with their divine senses. Brother Chiu Hua, I really don't know what the Palace Lord is thinking. Why doesn't he act against the Elysium Academy? Is there a need to provoke the Elysium Academy? Said a short, immortal emperor. Chiu Hua's eyes were filled with fear. It's best if we don't say anything about the Palace Lord. Don't forget that day. The short, immortal emperor's body trembled as if he was recalling something. He cupped his hands and said, "Thank you, Brother Chiu Hua, for the reminder. Our mission is to provoke them every day. We'll kill every one of them that comes out." "How leisurely," said Chiu Hua. "That's right. It's good as long as we complete the mission. It's a pity that Demon Lin didn't take the bait. Otherwise, with our strength, killing that guy would be equivalent to making a great contribution. The Palace Lord would definitely reward us greatly." The two immortal emperors chatted with each other. It had already become a daily habit. Since 3 months ago, no one dared to stand out in the Elysium Academy anymore. Their daily mission was to provoke the Elysium Academy. Once they were done, they could leave and report back. Do you people from the Netherworld Palace really think that there's no one in my academy? Within the academy, a towering evil aura erupted. A huge hand made of divine power flew out of the academy and slapped immortal Emperor Chiu Hua and the others mercilessly. The bodies of the immortal emperors behind them exploded into blood mists. Go. When immortal Emperor Chiu Hua and the others saw this, the complacency on their faces disappeared and was replaced with fear. Pung Pung. Chapter 1265. Pung Pung. The surrounding scouts were all dumbfounded. Even their divine senses stopped fluctuating. Who attacked? Could it be the third-step demon emperor of the academy? It seemed that only the third-step demon emperor had such terrifying combat power. He killed 2 first-step immortal emperors and the people brought by the 2 immortal emperors of the Netherworld Palace. Subconsciously, they retreated. They didn't want to be the target of the attack. The attack of a third-step demon emperor was too terrifying. They had to be careful. Scouts of the Netherworld Palace, please go back and tell your palace master to deal with these disgusting things. A sharp voice came from the academy again. There was indeed a scout from the Netherworld Palace among the scouts. They were also shocked by the sudden scene. 2 immortal emperors died just like that. When did immortal emperors become so cheap? Oh no, the Elysium Academy is going to fight back. The scout didn't dare to stay, fearing that he would be killed. He turned around and ran. Ha ha ha, good job. It's so satisfying. They're just immortal emperors, but they're still going to die. I've been unhappy with them for a long time. I didn't expect them to die today. Oh, right. That voice sounds so familiar. It seems to be the dean's voice. It really is the dean's voice. The dean must have come out of seclusion. In the Elysium Academy, the disciples could finally vent the anger that they had been holding in for a long time. It was the first time that they couldn't sit still after being provoked every day. If it wasn't for the repeated reminders from the higher-ups and the activation of the Academy's formation, they really couldn't help but attack. With a large number of cultivation resources, many geniuses emerged from the Academy. Their strength was constantly breaking through, and with the help of the sky-defying formation, their growth was unimaginable. Hearing that it was the dean who attacked, the entire Academy cheered. Only their dean could speak in such a tone. No matter who the other party was, he would kill them without giving them any chance to speak. Satisfying. Really satisfying. Even though they hadn't made a move yet, that palm strike felt as if they were there. It was no different from making a move themselves. Senior brother, why didn't you activate the formation and destroy these pieces of trash? Lin Fei showed rare anger. During the days when he was not here, some people came to the Academy to do evil things. He killed them without any explanation. One palm. Kill them all and spread the word. Even so, Lin Fei was still full of anger. Also, what's with this nether palace? Saint 33 smiled bitterly. Junior apprentice brother, I'm doing this for the good of the Academy. When you weren't here, our world was in chaos. Lin Fei suppressed his anger. Back then, when he left, he handed the Academy over to his senior brother. If there were any problems that he could not solve, he would let Demon Emperor Ji Kuin take action. Together with the Chaos Array, no matter how many came, they would all be killed. Speak. Lin Fei had no idea what had happened in the past few years. Junior brother, the Nether Palace that appeared today is the same Nether Palace that you single-handedly annihilated. Their current palace master is young master Sword Divine. Saint 33 quickly explained the situation to Zhang Xian, including the fact that he had signed up to wipe out the two great sects and make a comeback. It's him. Lin Fei's eyes narrowed. I didn't expect him to come back and rebuild the Netherworld Palace. He even subdued two major sections. It's indeed good to have a strong backing. After hearing this, Lin Fei was also surprised. Then why didn't you report it before? Saint 33 explained, originally I wanted to report it, but I thought that junior brother must have something important to do since you haven't returned for a few years. So I didn't inform you. I was afraid that it would affect your matters. Moreover, the Nether Palace wouldn't dare to attack. At most, they would do some disgusting things. Anyway, it's nothing much. What a nice guy. Lin Fei sighed in his heart, but he had to admit that this method was very appropriate. The Nether Palace's actions were nothing more than provoking the Academy to achieve their goal. Maybe it was because of Demon Emperor Ji Kuin's presence that they were afraid and didn't dare to act recklessly. From today onwards, this kind of thing will never happen again. Lin Fei said in a deep voice, It's fine if young Master Sword Divine doesn't return. Since he is back, we have to fight. Lin Fei didn't say anything else. Senior brother did the right thing. Saint 33 was relieved. He wasn't a violent person. Plus, his realm hadn't increased. When dealing with such matters, he always pursued stability. Let's talk about other things. Lin Fei wasn't surprised that young Master Sword Divine had returned. He admired that guy's methods. He destroyed 2 large sects in one go. It was just like his ambitious methods in the lower realm. The Sky-Cracking sect has reinforcements and destroyed 2 large sections. Their strength has increased greatly. Hearing senior brother say that the Sky-Cracking sect had devoured other sects, he was a little surprised. Back then, the Sky-Cracking sect had kept a low profile. Lin Fei believed that they would show their fangs sooner or later. Unexpectedly, they had the Heaven-Connecting sect behind them. With the support of large sects, the sects of the great metropolis world were nothing in front of them. After the sky cracking, sect devoured the two large sects. They didn't do anything and went into hibernation again. I heard that the sky-cracking sect and the Nether Palace fought secretly a few times. They were evenly matched. Saint 33 added, "It's normal for them to fight each other. One of them is Sword Immortal by D's backing, while the other is Heaven Connecting Sect's backing. Neither side is willing to submit to the other. It's normal for them to fight." Saint 33 continued to talk about other things. Some sects from other worlds brought people to invade the great metropolis world. The heavyweight sects all arranged for their people to enter the great metropolis world. Some of them had great backgrounds and mountains behind them. Apart from that, some medium powers joined together and invaded. They gathered the sects of the great metropolis world and formed their own sect. They fought against the other powers and didn't fall into a disadvantage. Everyone is very concerned about the competition for the sector lord position. Sitting on the sector lord's position brings unimaginable benefits, even if it's just a small sector lord. Saint 33 revealed a helpless expression. Our great world hasn't had a sector lord for too long. The other worlds are all tempted. Lin Fei understood the importance of the sector lord position. In the end, it was the great metropolis world's weakness. Otherwise, there wouldn't be anyone fighting for the sector lord position. These are the strongest powers that have entered the great metropolis world. There's still a year before the sector lord battle. I believe they will make a move against our Holy Heaven Academy. Saint 33 took out another jade scroll. Go and rest first. As long as I'm here, they won't be able to do anything. That's good, that's good. After sending off Saint 33, Lin Fei checked the information in the jade scroll. Ever since he heard about the sector lord battle, he knew that such a day would come. The importance of the sector lord made all the powers want to take a bite out of it. The information in the jade scroll was very detailed. Sky-cracking sect represents heaven-reaching sect. Netherworld Palace represents Sword Immortal White Emperor. Pill Cauldron Sect, Brahma Immortal Sect. Fire Alliance Medium Sect Alliance. 12 Palaces Water Palace. A total of 6 powers. Lin Fei saw the unexpected powers with a glance. Water Palace of the 12 Palaces, I didn't expect them to come as well. Lin Fei had come into contact with these powers before. For example, Golden Palace and then Thunder Palace. He didn't have a good impression of them. How could he not be surprised to see Wind Palace? There's still a year before the sector lord battle. There should be many powers that have entered. I wonder who will be the first to find trouble with the Academy. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. It should be Lin Fei. Netherworld Palace, Main Hall. Sword God Young Master was dressed in white, sitting on the throne. In the empty main hall, a scout was kneeling and reporting the situation during the day. Continue to watch. Sword God Young Master sent the scout away. Ever since the reconstruction of Netherworld Palace, Sword God Young Master's face became more and more dignified, especially Sword Immortal. He could kill an Immortal King level immortal with just a glance. Young Master, Lin Fei has appeared. Just as you imagined, that guy should have rushed back from afar. Otherwise, with Lin Fei's temper, he wouldn't allow Qiu Hua Immortal Emperor to discuss them outside. A young maid appeared beside Sword God Young Master. It's good that he's back. Sword God Young Master smiled sinisterly. This young master was afraid that he would be a coward. If it wasn't for Lin Fei, a mere Holy Heaven Academy wouldn't be able to withstand a single blow from this young master. Even if that third-step demon emperor wanted to kill him, it wouldn't be difficult. Why wait until now? Sword God Young Master stood up. It's been so many years. It's time to meet an old friend. Outside Holy Heaven Academy, there was a fluctuation in the air. Then a white-clothed, white-haired young man appeared. As soon as this person appeared, Sword chi danced, and traces of sword intent cut through the air. The sword intent behind him formed a throne, and a golden blade horse sat on it. To the left and right of the sword intent throne, all black-armored people lined up in a row. Lin Fei, your good friend is here. Aren't you going to come out and meet him? The surrounding scouts recognized the person. Netherworld Palace Master. They were all shocked. This powerful palace master took the initiative to come to Holy Heaven Academy. Was he going to make a move on the academy? They had to report it as soon as possible. Lin Fei was accompanying his wife and children. He had already noticed the fluctuation in the air, but he didn't pay much attention to it. After hearing the voice, he stopped. I'm going out to meet my friend. In the next second, Lin Fei appeared outside the academy. Sword God young master, long time no see. Your hair is all white. It seems like you've had a hard time. As soon as Lin Fei appeared, he laughed at Sword God young master as if he was very familiar with him. Sword God young master's gaze landed on Lin Fei and said word by word, Hard, it's indeed very hard. This head of white hair has been urging this young master to complete what I've never been able to complete. This guy was too patient. Lin Fei thought that Sword God young master would make a move. After all, he was his mortal enemy. The surrounding scouts were even more shocked by his appearance, especially when they heard Lin Fei's words. They couldn't help but admire this demon's courage. Facing the powerful Sword God young master, he actually dared to say such words. Lin Fei smiled. Then you have to keep up the good work. I'm looking forward to it. Chapter 1266. Outside the Holy Heaven Academy. The two did not fight the moment they met. From afar, they looked like old friends who had not seen each other for many years, shocking many people. There was no big fight that happened for 3 days and 3 nights. Who did not know about the matter between Nether Palace and Lin Fei? That could not be erased. Sooner or later, there would be a battle between the two. What's going on? I can't hear them. Sword God young master set up a soundproof formation. Whether it was Lin Fei or Sword God young master, both of them were heaven-defying people. Everyone was concerned about what these two old rivals would say. Soundproofing made them quite surprised. They missed out on many secrets and could not help but feel regret. Now, no one will disturb us. Sword God young master set up a formation. The surrounding ripples flowed, isolating all sound. Traces of sword intent danced around. The people outside are indeed quite noisy. Lin Fei agreed. I wonder what Sword God young master wants to say? Could it be that you have a lot of intimate words to say to me? You don't want them to listen? Lin Fei did not underestimate this true opponent in front of him. To be able to command ice and fire immortals, 2 sword immortals, Sword God young master's position should not be low under Sword Immortal White Emperor. Sword God young master stared at Lin Fei and said, Lin Fei, you are still the same as when you were in the lower realm. Do you know what I regret the most? Killing me in the lower realm. That's right, what I regret the most is that when you showed your talent, I did not kill you with one sword, which led to everything that happened later. Sword God, young master, said with a gloomy face. Lin Fei laughed out loud. Sword God, young master, I also have to thank you. If it was not for your arrogance and ambition, wanting to kill me, maybe we could have become friends. What a pity, what a pity. Mentioning this matter, Sword God young master felt disgusted as if he had eaten a fly. Today, Sword God young master was not here to kill. Lin Fei was not as easy to kill as he thought. It is indeed a pity that you became famous with the help of Nether Palace, Sword God young master said. Who would have thought that a bumpkin in the lower realm would grow to this level? You are the most outstanding person I have ever seen, but regretfully you are my enemy. This Sword God young master had changed a lot. He could hide his killing intent so deeply. It's because of the Netherworld Palace that I can become who I am today. It's a pity that you weren't at the Netherworld Palace that day. Otherwise, I could have killed you and put an end to everything. I didn't expect you to be a disciple of the Sword Celestial Emperor Bai. It seems like your position is quite high. The Sword God young master sneered. There are even more things that you can't imagine. I believe that before long, this young master will personally kill you and destroy your academy. Just you wait, Lin Fei said unhurriedly. I will wait and see if you, Sword God, have the ability to kill me, or if I will pull you down from your altar and bury you in the great metropolis heaven. The two were at each other. The formation dispersed, and the two went back to their own places. Sword God young master brought his men into the void and disappeared from Elysium Academy. The spy disappeared, and the outside was quiet. Ice and fire immortals are dead. Sword God young master has become cautious. Lin Fei retracted his gaze. Impulsive people were easy to deal with. Sword God young master was not as impulsive as before, which made Lin Fei realize that this guy was not easy to deal with. Young master, Sword God's main goal should be the position of the world overlord. As for me, that's something to be done after that. Once I become the world overlord, by borrowing the power of the world, I would become the #1 expert in the great metropolis heavens. I would be invincible, and it would be extremely easy for me to destroy my academy. However, the position of the world overlord is mine. Sword God young master, Lin Fei's strength is indeed unfathomable. I feel a terrifying destructive power from him. Sword God young master nodded. He is indeed terrifying. No wonder he could destroy the entire Netherworld Palace. He cultivates invincible divine power. It seems like he has reached the realm where he can destroy everything with his strength. His strength is indeed unfathomable. Sword God young master nodded. He is indeed terrifying. No wonder he could destroy the entire Netherworld Palace. He cultivates invincible divine power. It seems like he has reached the realm where he can destroy everything with his strength. His strength is indeed unfathomable. Sword God young master's trip was to understand Lin Fei. There were rumors about how powerful Lin Fei was. Sword God young master had a lot of information. Before seeing the real person, it was not good to make a plan against Lin Fei. After seeing him once, Sword God young master cursed in his heart. How the hell did this guy cultivate? Terrifying divine power reached a terrifying realm. Sword God young master did not dare to underestimate the destructive power of this realm. He is indeed terrifying. However, it will not be long before he dies. At that time, not only us, but others will also deal with Lin Fei. After Netherworld Palace left, Elysium Academy became quiet. The other forces did not come looking for trouble. Even the disciples of Netherworld Palaces, Sword God young master, and Sword Immortal by D did not attack Elysium Academy. This Lin Fei is not easy to deal with. Cracking Skygate Main Hall. After destroying 2 large sects, cracking Skygate's strength increased greatly. Hearing that Nether Palace's Sword God young master was going to attack, the heaven-connecting sect disciples were eager for them to fight. It would be best if both sides suffered heavy losses. In the end, they did not fight. This made Immortal Emperor Zhuyu and Immortal Emperor Duanyin very dissatisfied. They were both immortal emperors from heaven-connecting sect. They were not reckless people. Lin Fei had always been the most mysterious person in front of them. His strength was also unfathomable. Yeah, I don't know what Sword God young master is doing. He actually did not make a move. The sun must have risen from the west. Immortal Emperor Duanyin scolded. There is a deep hatred between them. The battle for the Realm Lord is not far away. If I am not wrong, Lin Fei's death is coming soon. Immortal Emperor Zhuyu squinted his eyes. His strength is unfathomable. He will definitely not be able to take that step. The heaven-connecting sect disciples seem to have a telepathic connection. Great Emperor, Pill Cauldron Sect, Fire Alliance, Wind Palace. They were discussing Lin Fei immediately. In the great metropolis world, Lin Fei's strength was rumored to be the strongest in the great metropolis world. Even though this was a rumor circulating privately, it was not groundless. Regardless of who it was, they all feared Lin Fei to a certain extent, especially when he was called a demon. Cracking Sky Gate did not attack Elysium Academy. Nether Palace's Sword God Young Master did not attack either. As long as they were not fools, they knew that Lin Fei was not easy to deal with. Chapter 1267. You are about to become a great emperor. 2 months after Nether Palace's Sword God Young Master left the college. When they heard the news, Saint 33 and the other vice deans were shocked. Becoming a great emperor. It was such a terrifying thing to look forward to. How many half-step immortal emperors had died at the checkpoint of becoming a great emperor? One step at a time was like a huge knife hanging above their heads. Without absolute confidence, they wouldn't dare to try. After all, it was a terrifying thing. Out of tens of thousands of immortal emperors, 60 to 70% would die. Lin Fei only mentioned it to them. Becoming a great emperor was a must. 10 years to become a great emperor. You really did it. Unfortunately, your timing is not good. Devil Emperor silence. Kuan frowned. The world overlord battle was about to begin soon. Everyone was rubbing their palms in glee, preparing to seize the position of world overlord. Lin Fei had broken through to the great emperor realm. He would definitely face a situation where everyone would gang up on him. No one was willing for Lin Fei to become a powerful first-step immortal emperor. His strength was already immeasurable before becoming a great emperor. If he became a great emperor, he would really become the #1 expert in great metropolis world. It wouldn't be a good thing for the realm lord battle. Instead, it would be a bad thing. No one was willing to see Lin Fei become a great emperor. I have to become a great emperor. Lin Fei was suffering in silence. He had already reached the required experience, and the system gave him the mission of becoming a great emperor. He couldn't reject it at all. Apart from that, the lowest cultivation for the position of realm lord had to be a first-step immortal emperor. Lin Fei had no choice. You are too strong. Becoming a great emperor will be very terrifying. Demon Emperor Silence Quinn said, the attack of the heavenly Tao treasure will be ranked very high. It definitely won't let you pass it easily. Becoming a great emperor. Demon Emperor Silence Quinn understood. One step was difficult. Every step would be difficult. Now, Demon Emperor Silence Quinn was a third-step immortal emperor. After cultivating the secret technique, his combat strength was at fourth-step immortal emperor. However, he wasn't confident in becoming a great emperor. Lin Fei was stronger than him. Becoming a great emperor seemed simple, but the difficulty was no lower than the tribulation of a fourth-step immortal emperor. It boded ill. No matter how terrifying it is, I still have to achieve the martial monarch realm. Besides, who knows how many people will try to kill me in the dark? This is a good chance to teach them a lesson. Lin Fei knew very well that the reason why young Master Sword God and the rest did not make a move was because they were waiting for him to become a martial emperor. If you try to become a divine emperor, the academy will become a target. Are you ready? Even though becoming a martial monarch was a simple task, the slightest change could affect everything. Lin Fei squinted his eyes. As long as the academy exists, they will not like it. This time, they will definitely not miss this good opportunity. Once I attract the heavenly lightning, they will definitely attack the academy, which will affect the process of becoming a great emperor. What you need to do is to protect the academy. As for the other matters, you can leave them to others. Hua, hua, hua. One figure after another appeared in front of Lin Fei. Waves of tyrannical auras instantly caused Demon Monarch Jeet Kuen's expression to change. This terrifying aura was ferocious and terrifying, a primordial beast. Greetings, Master. Whoosh, the 12 battle generals all knelt down. Lin Fei got them to stand up. He is my trump card. Do you think that after activating a simple array and using them to deal with him, will they be able to give them a memorable lesson? Very strong, very strong. Demon Monarch Ji Kuin had the strength of a fourth-step Demon Emperor and could already sense the terrifying aura from their bodies. Even though the strongest one was only at the peak of second-step Demon Emperor realm and the other 11 were at first-step Demon Monarch Hikuin, he didn't dare to underestimate them. Why don't you try them? That's good too. Demon Monarch Ji Kuin had still underestimated the power of these 12 battle generals. Once they formed an array, the main attack of explosive destruction brought about violent gales. They attacked ferociously and didn't stop. As a third-step Demon Emperor, Ji Kuin had to defend with all his strength. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm not fighting anymore. After Demon Monarch Ji Kuin blasted them away, he didn't attack anymore. They weren't too satisfied with explosive destruction as they couldn't do anything to a Demon Monarch. In the Sea region, they had joined forces and killed many Sea Race and mortal emperors. Here, they couldn't do anything to a Demon Monarch, making them lose face. All of you can be content. At his peak, he has the combat strength of a fourth-step Demon Emperor. Lin Fei scolded with a smile. He was very satisfied with their performance. At the same time, he was using their strength to tell Demon Monarch Ji Kuin that he wasn't the strongest among his subordinates, and there was no need for him to be complacent. Master, with this trump card, we can activate the Chaos Array. Anyone who enters will never be able to return. At this moment, Demon Monarch Ji Kuin finally said the word Master. Previously, Demon Monarch Ji Kuin was willing to be a follower, so he really couldn't say the word Master. After seeing these terrifying battle generals, Demon Monarch Ji Kuin realized that he wasn't the only one. These battle generals and ancient mutated beasts still had limitless potential. In a one-on-one battle, Demon Monarch Ji Kuin wasn't afraid as he could sweep them. Once they joined forces and formed an array, Demon Monarch Ji Kuin knew how powerful they were. Once they reached third-step Demon Emperor realm, the array's power would be enough to sweep all fourth-step Demon Emperor realm experts. Terrifying. Lin Fei nodded in satisfaction. Bao Extermination. Talk to him when you have nothing to do. It will be very helpful to your combat strength. Yes. Bao Extermination looked at Demon Monarch Ji Kuin with eyes filled with fighting spirit. Demon Monarch Ji Kuin's brows jumped, and he could only smile bitterly. He couldn't afford to offend such a violent fellow. He was obviously unhappy with the previous battle and wanted to defeat him. If they didn't fight, no one would know how terrifying they were. Demon Monarch Ji Kuin knew how terrifying they were. The battle armor on their bodies was the Chaos Battle Armor. In addition, they were ancient mutated beasts and were born with strong defense. Together with this powerful array, they could even ignore the recoil. Whoever had such a sharp blade would be a headache for everyone. The people from Tianyin Tower are here, just as Lin Fei was preparing to become a great emperor. Someone came in to report that the person in charge of Tianyin Tower was here. He even said that they were old acquaintances. Bring them in. Lin Fei was curious why Tianyin Tower would come at this moment. He decided to meet them first and get someone to invite them in. They arrived very quickly. Dinlin, you have been living such a carefree life. Lu Zue, who was dressed in black, walked in with a servant beside her. Lin Fei didn't get up. So it's Fairy Lu. What brought you here? Lu Zue sat down without any courtesy. The servant stood at the side without moving. It's nothing. Can I come? Unless Dinlin doesn't welcome me. Fairy must be joking. I welcome you very much. It's just that Great Metropolis World is a poor and remote place. It's not as prosperous and lively as those big worlds. Lin Fei chuckled. He didn't know why this woman came here. Lin Fei was thinking about the purpose of this woman's visit. Tianyin Tower was a huge force that could affect the entire universe. Lin Fei didn't dare to underestimate them. Dinlin, The reason I came here today is to discuss a business deal with you. A deal that will be beneficial to you. Lu Ziyue was a capable person. After a few words, she got to the point. Business deal? Lin Fei was curious. If it's for the celestial god fruit, I'm sorry. I don't have it anymore. I can't do anything about it. This guy is pretending to be confused. Lu Ziyue had seen all kinds of young elites. People like Lin Fei were really rare. His skin was also thick. It's not about the celestial god fruit, Lu Ziyue said with a smile. It's about the fight for the realm lord. This woman's appetite was really big. Lin Fei's heart stirred. He asked, "Could it be that you want to intervene in the fight for the realm lord? To expand your influence?" "Wrong. Our Tianyin Tower has never intervened in this kind of thing. We're just discussing a business deal with you." Lu Ziyue shook her head. In this world, anything can be bought and sold. It can be a small business or a big business. It's just that the trading partner is different. Don't you think so? Damn, what this woman said makes sense. Lin Fei secretly cursed. Tianyin Tower's appetite is not small. They can even intervene in the fight for the realm lord. Thinking about it, their influence can spread throughout the entire universe. Then, the fight for the realm lord doesn't seem to be a big deal. Can I listen to your business deal? Lu Ziyue knew that this guy would be interested. Very simple. We will support you to become the realm lord. We will provide all kinds of information and manpower. After you become the realm lord, we will need 80% of the shares. With our support, you will have a 70% chance of becoming the realm lord. As for you, you will only have a 10% chance or even less. Tianyin Tower was a big power. What they were doing was buying. In the eyes of others, the position of realm lord was also a business deal in their eyes. It was just a big deal or a small deal. In essence, the meaning was the same. Lu Ziyue threw out another benefit. As long as you form a cooperative relationship with us, when you are becoming a martial emperor, we can help you eliminate all your worries and guarantee that you will succeed. You should be very clear that your accumulation is too deep. The difficulty of becoming a martial emperor is 100 times more than the same level. In addition, there are people secretly preparing to act. Do you think you can handle it? With our help, it will be different. They won't dare to not give face to our Tianyin Tower. I don't believe you are tempted. Lu Ziyue understood Lin Fei's situation very well. She even had some secret information in her hands. The reason she came here personally was to cooperate with Lin Fei and obtain the position of realm lord. According to their Tianyin Tower's calculations, if Lin Fei had help, he had a high chance of obtaining the position of realm lord. Lu Ziyue believed that Lin Fei would not reject this kind of benefit. After all, in the entire universe, who didn't want to cooperate with Tianyin Tower? Lin Fei was silent for a moment before saying to Lu Ziyue, "I'm very curious. Why didn't your Tianyin Tower do it yourself? Instead, you came to find a nobody like me." Lu Ziyue's expression changed slightly. Lin Fei said again, "If I didn't guess wrong, you peak powers have an agreement with each other. You are not allowed to interfere. The fight for the position of realm lord should be limited to a certain area. Outsiders are not allowed to interfere. I wonder if I guessed correctly?" Lu Ziyue stared at Lin Fei as if she wanted to see something from his face. She smiled lightly. "You are very amazing. You guessed it correctly. This is already a secret of the upper echelons." Chapter 1268. He guessed it right. From the beginning, Lin Fei had his guesses, but he wasn't sure. The myriad worlds were so big, and there were many small worlds. Great Metropolis World was just a small world, and it wasn't considered much in the myriad worlds. The fight for the realm lord shouldn't be a fierce battle. It should be limited to a certain range. Hence, with Lin Fei's probing, Lu Ziyue didn't hide anything and admitted what Lin Fei said. Lin Fei heaved a sigh of relief. The fight for the realm lord was indeed a secret of the upper echelons. "Fairy Lu, I want to buy information about the realm lord." I wonder if your Tianyin Tower will sell it? Lin Fei asked Lu Ziyue. The fight for the Realm Lord was indeed a secret of the upper echelons in the small worlds. The Tianyin Tower knew it very well. What if I say no? Lin Fei said, then I don't care. I'm just asking casually, but it will make me feel disappointed in your Tianyin Tower. This guy was a rascal. From his previous tone, Lu Ziyue knew that this guy had already rejected. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said such words. This is a secret of the upper echelons, and the price is very high. Do you think you can afford it? Lu Ziyue was also dissatisfied. Lin Fei's choice of rejection was too different from what she expected. Lin Fei didn't think so. As long as you name the price, you will definitely be able to buy it. I believe that this information is in the upper echelons, and it isn't really a secret. What do you think, Fairy Lu? Lu Ziyue had never seen such a conceited person like Lin Fei. She wasn't willing to sell any information to Lin Fei. Many people wanted the Tianyin Tower to help in the dark. Miss, don't be impulsive. The servant at the side transmitted his voice. The secret that Lin Fei mentioned is indeed not a secret in the upper echelons. As long as you have enough time, you will be able to understand it. This old servant suggests that you sell it to him. I won't send you off. After getting the information, Lin Fei didn't say anything more to Lu Ziyue. In any case, it was impossible for them to cooperate. The Tianyin Tower was a terrifying existence, and cooperating with them was no different from asking a tiger for its skin. In the end, the one to suffer would still be him. After buying the information, Lin Fei did mention the matter of cooperation again. After tactfully refusing them, he used the excuse that he had something to do and sent them away. He held a jade slip in his hand. This woman is so black-hearted. I'll teach her a lesson sooner or later. For the information in this jade slip, Lin Fei was swindled, but there was nothing he could do about it. In the great metropolis, celestial world, there was no one in the upper echelons. Information about the upper echelons was a secret that ordinary people could not know. Let me see what's in the jade slip. Lin Fei deserves to die. After Lu Ziyue was sent out of the Sacred Heaven Academy, she turned her head back and looked at the Sacred Heaven Academy. She would remember this fellow, Lin Fei. Missy, we have to keep in touch with Holy Heaven Academy in the future. All of a sudden, a strange glint flashed in the eyes of the servant at the side. His left and right eyeballs rotated as traces of energy were released. In his eyes, the Holy Heaven Academy had changed into another appearance. What happened? Lu Ziyue stopped. He knew how powerful the servant beside him was. Although he said that he was a servant, he had indeed watched her grow up. Although he seemed to be unknown, only she knew how powerful a servant was. What a good Holy Heaven Academy to actually hide so deeply. I'm afraid that everyone has been deceived by him. The old man's eyeballs stopped moving as his face revealed an astonished expression. Fortunately, our Tianyin Tower has never interfered in other people's matters. Otherwise, we would really suffer a huge loss in the Holy Heaven Academy. Suffer a huge loss? Lu Ziyue looked at the Holy Heaven Academy again. It looked very ordinary, and there was nothing worth paying attention to. She would not doubt Uncle Xing's words. Elder Xing Hai's expression turned grave, because they laid down a great chaos array in the academy. Ordinary people would not be able to see through it, but if someone were to recklessly attack the Holy Heaven Academy, no matter how many of them come, they would just be sending themselves to death. Great chaos array? Lu Ziyue was moved. Is it a semi-finished product or a complete product? Complete product. There are at least 500 array flags. It's the real deal. Elder Xing Hai was also astonished. It was rare to see a great chaos array in a small world. Moreover, it was of such high quality. Isn't this comparable to the great array of some top-notch sects? How could the Holy Heaven Academy have such a great array? Being born in the Tianyin Tower, Lu Ziyue knew many secrets. Great chaos array. one of the ancient great arrays. It was refined using primal chaos divine stones and could be used to lay down an ancient and ominous array. Due to the rarity of primal chaos divine stones, great chaos arrays were rarely seen. Other than the top-notch sects, there were almost no such arrays in the outside world. Even if there were, it would be a small chaos array that could make a name for itself. Yes, that's why this old servant said that Lin Fei is very mysterious. With this great array, anyone who forcefully attacks will definitely suffer a great loss. If Lin Fei has a trump card, even a third or fourth step Immortal Emperor wouldn't have a good ending if they barge in. After Lu Ziyue confirmed it again and again, she realized that this matter was very serious. If I'm not wrong, this Lin Fei should have primal chaos divine stones in his hands. Primal chaos divine stones? Lu Ziyue's beautiful eyes flashed with astonishment. The jade letter in Lin Fei's hand suddenly shattered. This was a one-time use jade letter. After reading the information inside, the jade letter would automatically shatter and there wouldn't be any more information inside. This was to prevent others from copying it. So the great metropolis world belongs to the Iron Blood Alliance. After reading the information, Lin Fei couldn't help but laugh. The Iron Blood Alliance is formed by a total of 18 realm lords and controls a world. In this world, outsiders can't interfere with the competition for the realm lords. No wonder there aren't many people here. It's an internal division. Lin Fei could finally put down the matter that he had been worried about previously. Sword Immortal by D, Pill Cauldron Gate, Fire Alliance, Tongtian Sect, Wind Palace, they all belong to the Iron Blood Alliance. The information says that there won't be more than 10 forces fighting for the Realm Lords. There won't be any external forces interfering. In the information, there was a detailed introduction of the Iron Blood Alliance. These things were definitely big secrets in the various worlds. The people at the lower levels wouldn't know about it. Who would know that the forces in the various worlds were divided? The Iron Blood Alliance was such a big force. It was formed by 18 realm lords. It controlled one of the regions. This time, the competition for the realm lord of the great metropolis world belonged to the internal division of the Iron Blood Alliance. It didn't belong to the great metropolis world, but to other forces. That's a good plan. None of you can snatch the position of the realm lord. Lin Fei already had a rough understanding of the situation. The vast 10,000 worlds were divided into pieces by people. The world overlords formed their own powers and controlled the worlds under them. As for why no one controlled the great metropolis world, it was because the previous realm lord died. The great metropolis world didn't have any resources or spots. Naturally, it was abandoned. Chapter 1269. The sun rose. Another day had arrived. Great metropolis world welcomed another beautiful day. Recently, the great metropolis heaven had enjoyed a rare period of peace. It was as quiet as still water. But everyone knew that beneath this tranquility was a terrifying storm. Swoosh, on this day, a figure suddenly appeared in the sky above Elysium Academy and disappeared in the east. That figure headed east and disappeared into the distance in just a few steps. At the end of the east, it was a desolate and uninhabited place. On a barren mountain in the wilderness, a figure stood casually on it with his long hair fluttering in the wind. Ha ha ha! Lin Fei is going to become a great emperor. I thought he would have to endure it. Several figures soared into the sky above the sky-cracking gate. The Duanyun Immortal Emperor finally smiled. In order to deal with Lin Fei, he had endured until now. Now he could finally act and finish Lin Fei off in one fell swoop. East, a desolate place. He really knows how to pick a good place. Immortal Emperor Zhua, you could sense the approximate location. Unfortunately, once he becomes a great emperor, he will definitely die today. No one can help him. They had not taken action all this while because they were waiting for Lin Fei to become a great emperor. They all knew how powerful Lin Fei was. Even the sword god prince of Netherworld Palace did not take action personally, because he was afraid of Lin Fei's strength. "Senior brother, everything has been arranged." Duanyun Immortal Emperor said, "Not only will Lin Fei die today, but Elysium Academy will also be uprooted." Finally going to become a great emperor? Nether Palace, main hall. Sword God Prince opened his eyes. Sword Intent surged as he stood up. "Have you prepared the arrangements?" Immediately an immortal emperor came up and said respectfully, "Everything is ready." Sword God Prince sneered, "In the future he will destroy my Nether Palace. Today I will exterminate Elysium Academy. I will pay him back 100-fold for what he did that day." In his eyes, Lin Fei was already a dead man. "Palace Lord, don't worry. With so many of us, it will be easy to exterminate Elysium Academy. Pill Cauldron Gate, Fire Alliance, Wind Palace." These three forces also knew that Lin Fei was going to become a great emperor. A storm began to descend upon the great metropolis heaven. Secretly, many people began to take action. Lin Fei, Demon Lin, was secretly known as the #1 expert. Ever since he showed his talent, he had never been defeated. He killed his way up from the bones. The destruction of the Nether Palace made Lin Fei known as the Supreme Demon. Today, Demon Lin was going to become an emperor, and it was going to be a huge massacre. If Demon Lin could still become a great emperor under such circumstances, then no one in the great metropolis world would be able to stop him from fighting for the position of World Lord. Demon Lin's chances of becoming a great emperor were slim. His chances of becoming a martial emperor were less than 10%. I want to become a great emperor. I wonder how many people will take the bait. I am really looking forward to it. On the peak of the mountain, Lin Fei looked at the Elysium Academy with a sneer on his face. Half a day later, Lin Fei moved. The aura around him reached its peak, breaking through all the way. On the barren land, the wind and clouds surged, and the terrifying pressure of the heavenly Tao engulfed this area. The immortals and beasts in the vicinity trembled with fear, a tremor that came from the depths of their souls. Hoo, hoo, hoo! In the barren land, the wind whistled like knives. The ground cracked, and the mountains and rivers evaporated. This area had become a terrifying place. Demon Lin is becoming a great emperor. The entire great metropolis world was in motion. Everyone could feel the terrifying aura from the heavenly Tao. In the east, someone was becoming a great emperor. Hua, 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 billions of miles away from the nearest area. Experts gathered and looked at the barren land that had turned into a terrifying area. The people from the Nether Palace were the first to arrive. The Sword God Young Master was in the lead, and behind him was a black-armored army of about 50 people. They were covered in black armor, and their faces couldn't be seen clearly. Their eyes were filled with killing intent. After that, Immortal Emperor Ryu arrived with his men and occupied an area. They were very cold towards the Sword God, Young Master of the Nether Palace. However, their gazes were all focused on the barren land. The Fire Alliance, Pill Cauldron Sect, and Wind Palace had all arrived. At this moment, they didn't greet each other. Their goal was the same, to attack Lin Fei. They were all from the Iron Blood Alliance. The fight for the position of Realm Lord was also an internal struggle. Lin Fei wasn't one of them. He was a dangerous fellow. Now that he was taking the risk to become a great emperor, it was a good opportunity for them to attack him. According to their plan, they should get rid of Lin Fei first. After getting rid of a powerful opponent, the rest would be easy. They could slowly discuss their own matters behind closed doors. This time, they were unprecedentedly united. They wanted to kill Lin Fei. The lightning is here. Dark clouds rolled in the sky above the barren land, and lightning flashed. A bolt of blue lightning, as thick as a water bucket, struck down from the dark clouds. The entire great metropolis world shook. What a terrifying lightning! This is only the first bolt. Everyone could feel the terror of the lightning. Those who had already become great emperors couldn't help but shiver in the face of this lightning. This bolt of lightning was far more powerful and terrifying than they had faced. If they had faced this level of lightning before, they would have died without a doubt, not to mention becoming an immortal emperor. Those who doubted Lin Fei's strength had to admit that this terrifying accumulation wasn't just an ordinary kind of terror. He was the #1 expert of the great metropolis world. If the first bolt of lightning was so terrifying, how terrifying would the next 98 bolts be? Boom! 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 The mountain beneath Lin Fei's feet suddenly collapsed and was flattened. Above his head, lightning struck down with a terrifying aura. I have cultivated the true self-body, the chaotic body. Let me see who is the strongest. Boom! The first bolt of lightning struck Lin Fei's body. The surrounding hundreds of millions of li was flattened, leaving no signs of life. Lightning fragments were everywhere. The terrifying first bolt of lightning in everyone's eyes was forcefully withstood, just like that. The second bolt of lightning followed without any pause. What a powerful body! He withstood the first bolt of lightning without relying on external objects. What kind of body is this? The fact that Lin Fei withstood the first bolt of lightning shocked everyone. He relied on his body and not any treasures. Boom! Boom! Bolts of lightning struck down one after another. There was only lightning left in the world. Everyone could see that under the lightning, Lin Fei's body was like a towering mountain. He just stood there as the terrifying bolts of lightning struck his body. In the blink of an eye, 10 bolts of lightning passed. Lin Fei still relied on his body and didn't even spit out a mouthful of blood. Boom! Boom! The 20th bolt of lightning struck down. Lin Fei easily withstood it. The strength of his body was beyond everyone's imagination. No matter how strong Demon Lin's body is, it will completely collapse after 40 to 50 bolts of lightning. That's right. Only ancient experts could become great emperors by relying on their bodies. Most people who become great emperors nowadays rely on treasures. I dare say that after 60 bolts of lightning, Demon Lin's body won't be able to withstand it. Once he lets out that breath, he will die without a doubt. While the people outside were shocked, they expressed their opinions one after another. They really didn't expect that someone's body could be so strong. When becoming a great emperor, having a strong body was also a strategy that could last longer. The 30th bolt of lightning. Lin Fei's body didn't move, and he continued to withstand it. The 40th bolt of lightning. The 50th bolt of lightning. The 60th bolt of lightning. It was the 60th bolt of lightning. Everyone was dumbfounded. He relied on his body to last until now. What a joke! They almost suspected that the lightning was fake. It was simply a joke that it couldn't destroy an immortal's body. If it wasn't for the terrifying aura of the lightning that made even their hearts palpitate, they would be willing to go down and try the power of the lightning. Is this a peerless immortal body? I'm afraid even the legendary peerless immortal body isn't at this level, right? Demon Lin's strength is beyond our imagination. If he doesn't die, his body's defense will be even stronger after being tempered by the lightning. From now on, our attacks will be like tickles to Demon Lin, the Nether Palace, the Heaven-Cracking Sect, and other major factions. Their faces were solemn. Even though they had investigated Lin Fei, it was an investigation after all. They only had a vague idea of Lin Fei's strength. However, it was unprecedented for someone to withstand the 60th bolt of lightning. Monster! What a monster! Senior brother, did you see that? This guy really isn't human. Duanyun, Immortal Emperor's eyes widened. Back then, when he became a great emperor, it was far less dangerous. After withstanding 20 bolts of lightning, he had to take out a treasure to endure. But now Lin Fei was unbelievably ferocious. He relied on his body to withstand 60 bolts of lightning. There were only a few people in the Tongtian sect who specialized in cultivating their bodies and had peerless immortal bodies. They could barely withstand 40 bolts of lightning. They couldn't find anyone like Lin Fei. If our sect obtains such a strong physical body, it will increase our chances of becoming a martial emperor by more than 80%. Immortal Emperor Zhuo, you stared at Lin Fei, who was standing under the lightning. This time, Lin Fei must not be allowed to survive. The heaven-cracking sex conversation was similar to that of the other factions. Lin Fei was too strong. He didn't need any treasures to become a great emperor. He was like an ancient god of war with just his body. Lin Fei was under the lightning. Bolts of heavenly lightning descended and struck his physical body. Cracks appeared on his body as lightning flickered. This feels great. Only these heavenly thunders can break through my body. Whoosh! Large amounts of immortal force were used up. The lightning was forced out to repair his body. Luckily, I cultivated 2 powerful bodies so I could endure it. It wouldn't have been so easy with just my true self body. Lin Fei knew very well that the people outside were watching him, and they were even more determined to kill him. However, not now, but when he was at his weakest. After the 99 bolts of lightning, it would be the attack of the heavenly treasure. Once he withstood it, he would be in a weakened state. That was the time for them to attack. As for now, whoever dared to attack would be targeted by the lightning. That was why they didn't attack. Let the heavenly thunder come even more fiercely. Chapter 1270. Desolate Land. Bolts of heavenly lightning, filled with boundless heavenly might, bombarded Lin Fei in the center. From 60 bolts of heavenly lightning to 80 bolts. Lin Fei did not use any treasures to block the heavenly lightning. Monster, truly a monster. The 81st bolt of heavenly lightning fell. Lin Fei, who was in the lightning, soared into the sky and punched the heavenly lightning, creating an unimaginable scene. Boom! This was a clash of strength. Everyone saw the terrifying heavenly lightning explode in front of them, sending shards of heavenly lightning flying in all directions. Ha ha ha! Heavenly lightning is only SOSO. Lin Fei's voice came from the lightning. The dark clouds rolled again. The great path seemed to see the sky provoking it. After 2 consecutive bolts of heavenly lightning, they rushed down like 2 lightning snakes. Bang! Another 2 punches. The lightning wrapped around Lin Fei's arm. Lin Fei had 2 divine physiques, so his defense was terrifying. The 2 bolts of heavenly lightning were not enough to destroy his body. Everyone in the great metropolis heavens would never forget this scene. Lin Fei not only resisted the heavenly lightning, but his strength could also collide with it and destroy it. Boom, boom, boom. The great path was even more furious. This time, 6 bolts of heavenly lightning fell at once, not giving Lin Fei any chance to catch his breath. Good timing! Lin Fei shouted. His 3 heads and 6 arms swatted at the heavenly lightning at the same time. He blocked it again. The 6 terrifying heavenly lightning were struck in midair. Lin Fei was unscathed. The success of the ancient divine power had made Lin Fei confident that he could block the heavenly lightning. The next heavenly lightning increased in power, but it could not do anything to Lin Fei. The last bolt of heavenly lightning. Everyone was numb. They had all been defeated by Lin Fei. So this was how one could become a great emperor. Within the roiling black clouds, a colossal being pushed aside the black clouds, revealing its terrifying appearance. Its lake-sized eyes gave off a cold glint as it looked down at the lowly fellows below. This is a heavenly beast, a legendary heavenly beast. His aloof and emotionless gaze caused everyone to subconsciously tremble. The rumors are true. When it accumulates to a terrifying level, it will be attacked by a heavenly beast, forming the final heavenly lightning. I never thought that the legendary existence would really appear. The leaders of the top sects were all shocked. The heaven beast in the roiling dark clouds opened its mouth and inhaled. Everything within billions of kilometers was sucked into the bottomless pit. Kacha, kacha! In midair, a tall mountain was reduced to dust. Such a strong suction force. Lin Fei immediately felt a powerful suction force lock onto him, and his entire body flew towards the black vortex. There's a power that's destroying my body. Strands of blue energy revolved around his body. His physical body was affected to a certain extent. Damn, this is a heavenly beast. I didn't expect to meet it. In fact, Lin Fei knew what it was like to become a great emperor. When this huge creature appeared, he immediately knew that he had encountered a heavenly beast. The suction force continued to envelop them. Lin Fei's entire body flew up, and a horrifying twisting force came crashing down. His two divine bodies were pushed to the limit. Come on, come on. Lin Fei knew that he couldn't resist the suction force, so he might as well obey it. He sat down cross-legged and calmed his mind. Hua, 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 when the terrifying suction force attacked. A sound like seawater flowing exploded in Lin Fei's ears. Immediately, a vast ocean appeared in front of him, and the salty sea breeze blew towards him. Boom! Lin Fei's entire body sank, and blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. It's actually a soul attack. Just this one spiritual attack had almost caused him to fall. A soul projection attack directly attacked the soul's core. Without a strong soul, a soul attack would definitely kill him, and there wouldn't be any results. The people outside were so shocked that their faces changed. A soul attack appeared. This last heavenly lightning attack is really terrifying. Although the soul projection just now wasn't targeted at them, they who were outside could more or less sense it. Those with average strength were swaying, and their faces were pale, and they almost died. Under the attack, Lin Fei only suffered a small injury. This made everyone's eyes widen. Not only did he have a monstrous physical body, his soul was also so strong. What a joke! Unbeknownst to them, Lin Fei was shocked. The soul projection attack was really mysterious. When the attack started, a statue appeared in the depths of his soul, blocking the soul attack. I have to be careful of these soul attacks in the future. Following that, a few more soul projection attacks were unable to do anything to Lin Fei. Waves of suction force passed by him. Lin Fei endured the heavenly beast's attack unscathed. Roar! The heavenly beast roared, as if it was very unwilling to accept that it couldn't even deal with an immortal. Its huge body rolled and disappeared in the dark clouds. 99 heavenly lightning strikes had passed. Half of the great emperor stage had passed. The attack of a heavenly treasure was truly terrifying. As expected of the great metropolis world's #1 expert, strength trumps all arguments. After becoming a great emperor, no one would dare to question him any more. In the void billions of miles away, a small warship stopped in the depths of the void. Lu Ziyue was also shocked by Lin Fei's powerful great emperor stage ability. Miss, did you notice the divine body that Lin Fei displayed just now? Elder Xinghai couldn't suppress his excitement. It should be a top-notch body tempering technique that is specially used to resist heavenly lightning. From the information we collected, there are records that Lin Fei is strong. Not only is his strength terrifying, his defense is also strong, so strong that others can't break through it. However, I've looked into it in detail, and none of the body tempering techniques match. Lu Ziyue was doubtful. Ever since she found out that Holy Heaven Academy had a chaos array, Lu Ziyue re-evaluated Lin Fei. She seemed to know too little about this guy. To be able to set up such an infamous chaos array, he was definitely not an ordinary person. Lin Fei has cultivated several body tempering techniques, and this old servant saw a body tempering technique that has been lost for a long time. Back then, it was rumored that if one cultivated this body tempering technique, they would have a 90% chance of becoming a great emperor. Now it seems that it is true. Lin Fei does have a 90% chance of becoming a great emperor. 90%. Lu Ziyue was stunned. 90%? What kind of concept was that? A body tempering technique that has been lost for a long time? Lu Ziyue's body tempering techniques appeared and suddenly stopped on a body tempering technique. Are you talking about the chaotic body? It requires a large number of chaotic divine stones to successfully cultivate it. How long has it not appeared in our world? How did Lin Fei succeed in cultivating it? If it was true, then it was too terrifying. Chapter 1271. Lu Ziyue was still in shock. After the 99 bolts of lightning, the next wave of terrifying aura came. The attack of a heavenly treasure. Lin Fei passing the 99 bolts of lightning was indeed out of everyone's expectations. Apart from that, they also learned of Lin Fei's terrifying potential and powerful physique. He was truly the #1 expert in the great metropolis world. No one could achieve this during the great monarch realm. No, absolutely not. A powerful immortal physique gave them the cultivation method to take away the immortal physique. This would make it much easier for the disciples to achieve the great monarch realm in the future. Even though they didn't know the origin of this immortal physique, it wasn't hard to tell from the resistance of the lightning bolts. This was a terrifying immortal physique. After the 99 bolts of lightning, the attacks of the heavenly treasures followed. Rumble, a black divine pagoda, was the first to bear the brunt of the attack. It turned into a ray of light and smashed down on Lin Fei. The 88th ranked heaven, destroying divine pagoda. The appearance of this heavenly treasure was both expected and reasonable. The first time a great monarch appeared, it was usually a heavenly treasure that was ranked below 90. The heaven-destroying divine pagoda was ranked 88th and possessed terrifying power. Every time it turned into a ray of light, the sky would fall and the earth would crack. Even the entire great metropolis world could feel the terrifying attack from the heavenly treasure. The black heaven, destroying divine pagoda, shook its body and turned into a black giant. It held a heaven, destroying divine pagoda in its hand, causing people's eyes to shake once again. Materialized. The legend says that after accumulating enough, the heavenly treasure will materialize. It's true. This is the heaven-destroying demon monarch, ranked 88th back then. After materializing, his battle prowess will increase by several folds. After materializing, the heaven-destroying demon monarch activated the heaven-destroying divine pagoda, and its power increased greatly. The heaven-destroying divine pagoda suppressed the entire area, stopping time and space. Boom! The heaven extermination demon emperor's fist landed on Lin Fei's body, sending him flying and creating a huge crater. What a powerful demon monarch! As expected of the 88th ranked 100 monarchs, Lin Fei soared into the sky with 3 heads and 6 arms as he charged towards the heaven extermination devil emperor. Streaks of light slammed towards the heaven extermination devil emperor, shattering the space and time that had come to a standstill. Let me see how strong you, ranked 88th among the 100 emperors, are. With his powerful immortal physique, Lin Fei was like a god of war. His fists whistled through the air, constantly blasting at the heaven extermination devil emperor. His ferocious attacks repeatedly shattered the void. The heaven exterminating demon emperor was merely a manifestation of the heaven exterminating divine pagoda, not the real heaven exterminating demon emperor. Die. Boom! Lin Fei's ferocious attacks finally destroyed the 88th ranked heaven extermination devil emperor. The area that he was suppressing also disappeared. The sky extermination monarch is indeed very strong. If I hadn't suppressed him with a single attack, it wouldn't have been easy for me to defeat him. The moment the heaven exterminating demon emperor was blasted apart, the dark clouds started to churn again. The 2 heaven-destroying devil emperors walked out and started to work. Time and space were frozen. Lin Fei's speed slowed down. This was time and space being affected. The 2 heaven-exterminating demon emperors were obviously enhanced by the heavenly Tao. Their strength was also at the peak. In the sky, 2 black figures surrounded and attacked Lin Fei. Too terrifying. The heavenly Tao has manifested 2 heaven-exterminating demon emperors with the same strength. Demon Lin is going to suffer. Demon Lin is vomiting blood. What terrifying strength! He killed 2 heaven-exterminating demon emperors despite being injured. In the sky, Lin Fei vomited blood. He forcefully resisted the attacks of the 2 heaven-exterminating demon emperors and finally killed them. The heavenly Tao didn't seem to give up after the death of the 2 heaven-exterminating demon emperors. The third wave of attacks came, and it was directly against 3 heaven-exterminating demon emperors. Every time the heavenly Tao added another heaven-exterminating demon emperor, the situation would expand. On one side was the heavenly Tao, which could manifest the heaven-exterminating demon emperors with endless energy. On the other side was Lin Fei, who needed to be constantly exhausted. As time went on, the situation would become one-sided. The 3 heaven-exterminating demon emperors attacked. Palace Lord, Lin Fei's injuries aren't light. His movements are starting to slow down. In the region where the Netherworld Palace was located, a demon monarch said, the sword god young master sat on the throne and looked at Lin Fei with satisfaction. He knocked on the throne with his fair fingers and said, send a message to the people outside. They can attack the Elysium Academy now. The demon monarch accepted the order and left. The sword god young master stood up and looked at Lin Fei, who was surrounded by the 8 heaven-exterminating demon emperors. Lin Fei, you are indeed a good opponent. You have accumulated so much. Unfortunately, the heavenly Tao doesn't allow you to become a demon monarch. In a few days, you will die under the attacks of the heavenly Tao treasure. Now, I have already arranged for people to attack the Elysium Academy. I want the Elysium Academy to be removed from the great metropolis world. Ha ha ha! You are shameless. Lin Fei was infuriated. A moment of carelessness in his defense caused him to be sent flying. He vomited mouthfuls of blood and glared at the sword god young master. The sword god young master laughed. Ha ha ha, this isn't shameless. This is returning the favor. You destroyed the Netherworld Palace while I was in seclusion. Today, I am just returning the favor. Lin Fei, who was surrounded, was infuriated again. Countless wounds appeared on his body, and he was covered in blood. The 8 heaven-exterminating demon emperors attacked without any regard for their lives. I won't let you off, Lin Fei said while gnashing his teeth. The sword god young master didn't care. I will wait for you here. I am just afraid that you won't be able to break through the attacks of the heavenly Tao treasure. Unfortunately, your Elysium Academy will be removed soon. In the Elysium Academy, all the students could feel the heavenly Tao attacks that made them tremble. They were all praying for the dean to succeed in becoming a demon monarch. At this moment, a group of uninvited guests arrived outside the Elysium Academy. The neat and tidy black armored army had a total of 50 people. Behind them were the immortal emperors, devil emperors, and immortal emperors of the Netherworld Palace. There were at least 300 to 400 people. Attack! The leader was an immortal emperor. His voice was as sharp as sword chi. The sky was filled with attacks towards the Elysium Academy. Boom, boom, boom. The attacks from immortal emperors and half-step immortal emperors all landed on the sky above the academy. Suddenly, a layer of ripple appeared above the Elysium Academy, blocking all the attacks. The people of the Netherworld Palace didn't care. A mere mountain gate array was nothing in their eyes. In order to destroy the Elysium Academy, the sword god young master had mobilized 1/3 of his forces. He only had one goal: to destroy the Elysium Academy. 1/3 of his forces and the black armored army was enough to sweep through any obstacles. Attack! The ripples spread out like a wave. All the attacks were blocked. The Netherworld Palace has made their move. The people hiding around the Elysium Academy couldn't sit still anymore. Attack! The people of the Cracked Sky sect came out of the void and chose a direction to attack. The leader of the Netherworld Palace was obviously unhappy. The people of the Cracked Sky sect really didn't know what was good for them to choose this moment to attack. The Pill Cauldron Gate and the Fire Alliance also started to attack. Four forces and four regions attacked the Mountain Gate array together. In the void, the people of the Wind Palace didn't make a move. Elder, they've already made their move. Should we act as well? The white-haired old man, the leader of the immortal emperors, stared at the Elysium Academy. No hurry. Let them break the Mountain Gate array first. The Mountain Gate array of the Elysium Academy does have some power. It can block the attacks. However, the consumption of the array won't last for too long. Lin Fei is a promising talent. It's a pity that he is overbearing and has conflicts with the Thunder Palace. Naturally, he is our enemy. Now that we have dealt with him, the Thunder Palace will owe us a favor. The white-haired old man smiled when he thought of this. It wasn't easy for the Thunder Palace to owe them a favor. That day, outside the inheritance ground, the people of the Thunder Palace weren't a match for Lin Fei. In the end, they helped Lin Fei and made a name for themselves. This caused the Thunder Palace to become a joke among the upper echelons. This time, when they heard that the Wind Palace had a chance, the people of the Thunder Palace naturally had to repel him. Once they met Lin Fei, within the Elysium Academy, the disciples of the Academy didn't panic. Immediately, an elder came out to calm them down. Saint 33's expression was more solemn than usual. Demon Emperor Silence, Earth, took up the heavy responsibility. With this third step Demon Emperor overseeing the place, everyone present was very calm, especially those immortal emperors who had benefited from it. Facing such a siege, they were more or less unnatural. Now listen to my instructions. Enter the designated array I and activate the array. Your mission is to activate the array. You don't need to do the rest. Demon Emperor Silence, Earth, didn't care about the attacks outside. He gave out orders in an orderly manner, using the array to block them. The Elysium Academy didn't seem to have any powerful array. The immortal emperors and demon emperors present were all confused. They were curious and didn't dare to question Demon Emperor Silence, Earth's words. They followed the instructions and entered the center of the array I. Not long after, everything was set up. Demon Emperor Silence, Earth stood up and Bao Extermination and his group of battle generals appeared. The outermost layer of the array is about to be broken. The show is about to start. I will leave the important part to you all. Bao Extermination said, a bunch of shameless fellows. Today, we will let them taste the power of our battle generals. I guarantee that none of them will be able to leave alive. Demon Emperor Silence, Earth smiled. Then this emperor shall wait for the good news from Tao friends. Bao Extermination and the others walked out. Above the academy, the ripples were getting slower and slower. They were at their limit. Kacha! Kacha! Another wave of attacks landed on the ripples. The array was already at its limit and was about to break. Ha ha ha! The death of Elysium Academy has arrived. Rumble! The array was broken. With the four factions attacking, it was only a matter of time before the array was broken. An Academy's array was nothing in the eyes of the four factions. They didn't even need to invite array masters. They could just use their strength to break it. Once the array was broken, a starry sky appeared above the Academy. It blocked everything and made it so that no one could lock onto Elysium Academy. They clearly knew the location, but it was a starry world in front of them. There's something going on. The immortal emperor of Netherworld Palace waved his hand, and a small team immediately charged out. There were teams that went in from all four directions to break the array. Chapter 1272. In the endless starry sky, the dazzling stars seemed to be right in front of them. They were so real. At this moment, there were people advancing in the starry sky. It was a team of people in black, led by a half-step immortal emperor. They exuded endless cold air. Hee, we'll be able to start a massacre later. One of the immortal emperors chuckled. He subconsciously licked the corner of his mouth. Demon Lin is infamous. I'm afraid he wouldn't have thought that the people of Nether Palace would be able to kill their way in. I heard that there are many geniuses in the school. Killing geniuses is a very satisfying thing. As these people advanced, they had a smug look on their faces. The outermost array formation was broken. The beauties of Holy Heaven Academy appeared in front of everyone. Ever since young Master Sword God made a move and integrated the power of the two sects, his strong methods and seduction caused the group of immortals below to follow him closely. The half-step immortal emperor in the lead was a chubby man with a smug look on his face. "Hurry up and advance. We have to be the first to kill our way in." Immortal Emperor Left Wolf shouted at everyone. The array formation outside was broken. In Immortal Emperor Left Wolf's eyes, the academy was too weak. Yes. Such a situation happened to 4 forces at the same time. Holy Heaven Academy was famous. Apart from the reputation of Demon Lin, its overall strength wasn't strong. The Mountain Gate array formation was ordinary. Their imagination told them that Holy Heaven Academy was too weak. If they broke the starry sky, what would the people of the academy do? In the endless starry sky, a tall and sturdy man stood in the starry sky. "Activate the first layer of the array formation and give them a taste of our strength." The tall and sturdy man's voice spread out. In the starry sky, the immortal emperors activated the array formation with all their might. The legendary Chaos Grand Array, which had a fearsome reputation, began to spin. Under the vast starry sky, endless danger began to envelop everyone. Huff, in the starry sky, a star moved, bringing with it a tail of brilliance, shooting over like a shooting star. A star is coming for us. In the area where Nether Palace was, these immortal emperors didn't think much of it. Who's going to destroy it? Immortal Emperor Left Wolf said calmly. "Damn it!" One of the immortal emperors rushed forward and struck out a divine ability with his bare hands towards the star. The meteor smashed into the immortal emperor's divine ability, shattering it into pieces. The flowing light flashed past and collided with the immortal emperor. The mighty immortal emperor exploded into pieces on the spot, perishing together with the immortal emperor. He was actually killed. Immortal Emperor Left Wolf's face darkened. A star killing an immortal emperor? What kind of joke was this? This was a formation set up by the Divine Heaven Academy. It's constellation again. In the starry sky in front of them, stars fell one after another, bringing with them streams of light. A meteor shower was heading towards them. Block it. Hua, hua, hua. The stars were like a river. While beautiful, it was also filled with danger. Swish, 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 the sky was filled with shooting stars. Their expressions finally changed as terror enveloped them. Bang, 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 more than 10 celestial emperors were killed on the spot. The remaining immortal emperors panicked and used their divine arts to attack the stars with all their might. The stars shattered one by one, and they finally managed to hold on. They lost half of their men in the first wave of attack. What's going on? How can a small academy have such a powerful formation? Immortal Emperor Left Wolf wore a top-grade celestial armor and struggled to resist the attacks. He was full of doubts. Hua, 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 another wave of stars. This time it was densely packed, and they surged towards them as if all the stars had fallen. Oh no, I'm going to die. The densely packed stars streaked across their bodies. Immortal Emperor Left Wolf let out a helpless cry as he watched his body shatter into pieces with his eyes wide open. They're all dead. Long live the Dean. The immortal emperors who were in charge of the formation eyes began to cheer. They began to cheer. Just the outermost formation had easily wiped out the forces of 4 forces. It was impossible not to be shocked. The power of the first wave of star attacks was too terrifying. If it were them, they would have to pay a huge price to break through the densely packed stars. Originally, they were already scared when facing the attacks of 5 major forces. If it wasn't for the Heavenly Law Oath, they would have run away immediately. The power of the formation undoubtedly gave them confidence. Long live the Dean! For no reason, they said in unison. With such a powerful formation, what was there to be afraid of? Nether Palace, Pill Cauldron Gate, Sky-cracking Sect, Fire Alliance. Prick up your ears and listen up. Don't think that our academy is easy to bully. Ha ha ha. Loud laughter came from the starry sky. It was the voice of the Vice Dean, Saint 33. The expressions of the four major forces outside suddenly collapsed, and their faces darkened as they divined something. They're all dead. In the Nether Palace region, the leader divined that a mortal emperor left Wolf's team had all been wiped out. Amazing, there's such a formation. The leader sneered and summoned a demon emperor. Tianqi, bring half of the immortal emperors and demon emperors in. I want you to kill your way in and destroy the Holy Heaven Academy's formation. I want to kill Saint 33 personally. Demon Emperor Tianqi was a middle-aged man with two sword-like eyebrows. He replied, "We'll definitely destroy the Academy's formation within an hour." The leader was very satisfied. "You're the best formation master. I believe they will also send out formation masters. I want you to make a name for yourself, and I'll give you a huge contribution." Demon Emperor Tianqi brought 100 people, and they were all immortal emperors and demon emperors. Their cultivations were basically between first step immortal emperor and first step demon emperor. These immortal emperors were all formed through pills, and they belonged to the upper echelons of the top two sections. The four major forces didn't care about the loss of immortal emperors. For the second wave, they sent out formation masters, and together with the experts, it would be easy to destroy the formation. They had never placed any importance on the Holy Heaven Academy. There was no news of the Holy Heaven Academy buying the formation from the secret channel. The formation in front of them didn't matter much to them. Charge! Demon Emperor Tianqi brought his men in. Soon, they encountered the attacks of the stars. These attacks were powerful. They were all immortal emperors, and their defenses were stronger than immortal emperors. They attacked ferociously and killed their way out. A bunch of trash. Demon Emperor Tianqi attacked along the way, but there were still 20 weak immortal emperors and demon emperors that died. This made him very unhappy. It was good that they died because they were all cannon fodder. They charged through the attacks of the stars. In front of Demon Emperor Tianqi's vision, there was no longer a starry sky, but a stretch of tall mountains. There were tens of thousands of mountains that were both real and fake. They were densely packed together. Demon Emperor Tianqi was bursting with confidence. The attacks of the stars in the first stage couldn't even break through his defenses, much less here. If he pointed out the location of the formation core, he would charge over with a single word. Hong, 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 the mountains smashed down one after another. Dong, dong, dong. The sky was densely packed with divine art attacks. The mountains passed through the attacks and landed in their hearts. Everyone's expression changed. Chapter 1273. Spirit Projection Attack. No one expected to see a spirit projection attack on an array set up by an academy. Even sacred arts couldn't attack it. Dong, 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 a solid and dull sound echoed in their minds. PFFF, 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 PFFF. The weak immortal emperors behind Demon Emperor Tianqi coughed out blood and fell from the sky. In the blink of an eye, 2/3 of the immortal emperors had fallen. Damn it, why does Holy Heaven Academy have a spirit projection attack? Didn't they say that this kind of spirit projection attack only exists in top sects? Why did it appear in Holy Heaven Academy? Leave, we can't block it. The immortal emperors that survived the first wave had pale faces. They definitely didn't expect this outcome. Miserable laughter could be heard. It was a spirit projection attack. They wouldn't encounter such a terrifying attack in their lives. Even if it appeared once, they might die. After all, they didn't become emperors through normal means and were weaker than ordinary first-step immortal emperors. This was fatal. Hoo, the sky full of mountains attacked again. No, I don't want to die. Another wave of attacks landed. The remaining immortal emperors and immortal emperors all fell. In the blink of an eye, Only Demon Emperor Tianqi was left. Even he wasn't in a good state, and his face was filled with shock. All dead, all dead. Demon Emperor Tianqi retreated. I swear I will never come back. This is a killing array. Holy Heaven Academy has set up a terrifying supreme killing array. Demon Emperor Tianqi had lingering fear. Even though he was under sword immortal by D, he couldn't withstand a single blow from the spirit projection attack. The spirit projection attack was too terrifying. As Demon Emperor Tianqi retreated, the spirit projection attack came again. Tens of thousands of mountains were faintly discernible. Ah, damn it. Wave after wave of spirit projection attacks landed on his body. No matter how Demon Emperor Tianqi used his sacred arts and treasures to protect himself, he couldn't block the attacks. Dead, Demon Emperor Tianqi is actually dead. Outside the academy, the leader of Netherworld Palace had a rare look of shock in his eyes. Half of the power disappeared into the array. The one in the lead had a jade talisman in his hand shatter into pieces. Demon Emperor Tianqi's strength has already reached the second step realm, and he has treasures on him. He can definitely fight against a third step realm powerhouse. Could it be that the third step Demon Emperor of the Academy has made a move? The leader shook his head. Even if he did, Devil Emperor Tianqi wouldn't have fallen so quickly. For a moment, the Academy was shrouded in a layer of mystery. The person in the lead looked at the boundless starry sky with a grave expression. Perhaps I have underestimated the Holy Heaven Academy. At the same time, the expressions of the other three forces changed. They had also received the news that the teams they had arranged to enter had all perished inside. He was completely moved. The first wave of squads was nothing more than a probe. It was fine even if they died. On the other hand, the second group was more than 10 times stronger than the first group. On top of that, they also had a formation master, so they shouldn't have lost so quickly. More importantly, not a single one of them managed to escape. Even though this power wasn't their true power, they wouldn't feel any heartache if they lost it. He couldn't keep his face. What's going on? Why are they all gathered together? The expression of the Wind Palace, who had been watching the show from the outside, changed. It was hard to imagine that the leaders of the four forces would gather together as if they were discussing something important. Could it be that they can't break the Academy's formation? Or is it the people from before? The white-haired old man subconsciously frowned. An Academy's formation blocked the attack of four forces? How could this be possible? The great metropolis world was only a small world, a remote and desolate place. Fellow Taoist Myriad Immortal, your Wind Palace has been watching for so long. Are you not going to make a move? Xiao. The four figures arrived near the Wind Palace's area. Myriad Immortal Emperor chuckled. When one is old, one will always hesitate. I've let everyone see a joke. I wonder what is the meaning of this. His heart sank. He understood that the four forces had met with trouble and were forcing him to make a stand. Even though the four forces were opponents, they were still in the same organization. After asking each other, they knew that they had met with big trouble in the formation. Thus, they temporarily joined forces. They were prepared to join forces. Before joining forces, they couldn't stand the actions of the Wind Palace. No matter what, they had to make a stand. Either they left or they joined forces. They couldn't let the people of the Wind Palace exist. 2 probing attacks, and the losses were so great. They couldn't accept it. Moreover, they all came under orders. No matter what, they had to complete the mission. Behind them were top forces that even the Realm Lord had to pay attention to. Myriad Immortal Emperor originally wanted to be the fisherman, but when he saw them joining forces, he knew that his wish had fallen through. Either they left and got nothing, or they joined forces. Myriad Immortal Emperor really couldn't let go of the fat piece of meat that was Holy Heaven Academy. After a round of excuses, Myriad Immortal Emperor swore a heavenly oath to break the formation together. As for the distribution of benefits, it would depend on themselves. The most important thing now was to break the formation. I would like to see exactly how powerful the Divine Heaven Academy's formation is. A sharp sword intent flashed. Nether Palace's Sword Immortal Ningchuan was the first to enter the starry sky with his subordinates. Then Sky-Cracking Sect, Pill Cauldron Gate, Fire Union, and Wind Palace entered one after another. Good, they finally all came in. At the center of the formation, the tall and sturdy man laughed. 5 forces joining forces, it's more satisfying to kill. The people behind him also laughed. They shouldn't have gone against Master. At the second layer, they will lose at least 90% of their 2,000 men. These black-clothed generals were all brimming with battle intent. If not for the order, they would have already made their move. Apart from the few leaders, the rest of the 5 forces couldn't withstand a single blow. Killing them was like killing chickens or ducks. A sky full of starry attacks. This time, the 5 forces joined forces. These starry attacks were blocked by their treasures. The attack on this layer is not bad. Does anyone know what formation this is? Sword Immortal Ning Chuan asked everyone. Never heard of it. The others all shook their heads, but they were also surprised. It was indeed surprising for such an offensive formation to appear on Holy Heaven Academy. An ordinary world with such a formation could also reach the level of a first-rate force. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that this formation was not ordinary. The attack on this layer is not a threat to us, but the next layer seems to be dangerous. The leader of the Fire Union, Immortal Emperor Ross, was wearing a red robe and was not tall, and he reminded everyone, "Isn't it just Holy Heaven Academy? Is your Fire Union afraid?" Immortal Emperor Chiu Yuan of the Pill Cauldron Gate mocked. "If we join forces, we can easily destroy the entire great metropolis world, let alone a small academy." Everyone, it's better to be careful. After all, Holy Heaven Academy is not simple. Everyone wants to deal with them. I don't want to waste time here. The leader of the Sky-Cracking Gate was a young man named Immortal Emperor Jinhua. After a round of argument, it quieted down. Very quickly, they dodged the starry attacks. They didn't lose many people. The alliance of the 5 forces displayed extraordinary strength. The treasures they took out were enough to disintegrate all attacks. Immortal Emperor Wan Xian, you specialize in formations. Do you see anything? The leaders asked Immortal Emperor Wan Xian. They entered this area and saw tall mountains, but they didn't see any attacks. It's a bit familiar. Immortal Emperor Wan Xian wasn't sure, but I'm sure that this formation feels familiar. I just can't remember what it is. Isn't it just a mountain? How dangerous can it be? Immortal Emperor Ross of the Fire Union casually whipped at the mountains, causing them to crumble. See, it's nothing special. This time, everyone was even more confused. Isn't this the range of the formation? Suddenly, there was a disturbance in front of them. They saw 12 people in black armor appear on the mountains. "Welcome to Holy Heaven Academy." The voice of a stalwart man reverberated in the air like a huge bell. "Ha ha ha! 11 first step Immortal Emperors and a peak second step Immortal Emperor. This is the power of your academy. Ha ha ha, what a joke!" Immortal Emperor Ross laughed sinisterly. "You dare to kill people from the Fire Union? You're dead." Sword Immortal Ning Chuan stared at these people. He could sense a dangerous aura emanating from them. He seemed to understand how his men had died. "You're not bad. You actually managed to kill my men. But if you think you can stop us, then you're sorely mistaken. You're destined to be disappointed. It's just 12 people. Our Sky-Cracking Gate will take them." Immortal Emperor Jinhua didn't care. He almost waved his hand and killed them. Immortal Emperor Wan Xian frowned even more. His gaze fell on the stalwart man, as if trying to figure something out. "Ha ha ha! You 5 forces are indeed arrogant." The stalwart man revealed his white teeth. "But you're all going to die today." Boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, The mountains that were originally motionless moved as if they had come to life. Mountains fell one after another. Have a good taste of our gift to you. The 12 people dispersed. Dong, dong, dong. A thick sound exploded in their minds. The immortals at the very back paled and fell to the ground one after another, their auras dying. At this moment, a 10,000 zhang long dragon appeared below them. Its ferocious aura swallowed the corpses unscrupulously. Oh no, this is a spirit projection attack. Immortal Emperor Wan Xian was the first to shout. A black bell was taken out and covered the sky. The other 4 forces came to a realization and quickly took out their treasures to block part of the influence. Dong, 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 dong. Mountains continued to fall and hit the 5 forces. Immortal emperors and demon emperors fell one after another. We've been tricked. This is a chaos array. Immortal Emperor Wan Xian's voice sounded again. Impossible. How can it be a chaos array? The leader's expressions changed. If it was a chaos array, then today they didn't dare to think about it. Chapter 1274. The spirit projection attacks were ferocious. In an instant, the 5 factions fell into a trap. In the distance, the 12 generals watched coldly. Their weak strength could not withstand a single blow from this. They did not need to take action personally. They just needed to attack later and kill the strongest few. As for the others, they could ignore them. Too strong. The dean is so smart to set up such a grand array. Luckily, we were not the dean's match back then. Otherwise, we would not have a good ending if someone provoked us and really attacked. We must unite firmly around the dean in the future. Any one of the 5 factions is a top faction. I did not expect them to be so weak in front of the array. Joining the academy was the wisest choice of our lives. Within the chaotic reincarnation array, the consecrators who were activating the array were all shocked. Only now did they know how fortunate it was to join the academy. The future of the academy was bright. They worked even harder to activate the array. They wanted to leave a good impression. The terrifying power of the chaos array made these consecrators unprecedentedly united. Saint 33 knew how powerful the chaotic reincarnation array was. He only knew how terrifying it was after witnessing it for himself. The chaos array lives up to its name. These people are dead for sure. Saint 33 could see the situation within the array. He looked to the east, his heart trembling. I wonder how Junior Brother is doing. Dead, they are all dead. The spirit projection attacks of the tall mountains constantly attacked everyone. Other than a few people, they could not withstand the spirit projection attacks. The ferocious beasts below were like fish in water, constantly devouring the corpses. Everyone felt their scalps go numb. Retreat! Retreat! If we don't leave now, we are doomed. The 5 major powers who were initially aggressive were now speechless. After being defeated, the only thing they could do now was to leave this damned place. Not good. The path of retreat has been sealed. We can't break it. Screams could be heard. Everyone's expression changed drastically. All they could see was a boundless mountain range. The spirit projection covered them. They could not find a way out. It was a situation of certain death. Damn it, we were all fooled. Sword Immortal Ning Chuan cursed. This is not an ordinary array. It is clearly a peerless array. The surrounding immortal emperors and demon emperors fell one after another. The combined forces were utterly defeated. We have to rush up and kill them. The treasure above Immortal Emperor Myriad Immortal's head supported him as a spirit projection continuously attacked the treasure. His face turned pale. If we kill the 12 of them, we should be able to break the formation, Qiu Yuanxian of the Fire League said. They knew very well that they had suffered a crushing defeat today. Whether or not they could keep their lives was also a problem. He had to go all out. Kill. The strongest force of the 5 factions was barely holding on with their immortal armors and treasures. There were about 200 to 300 of them. Good, let's kill our way up. The stalwart man laughed heartily. The 12 generals formed a huge formation. A black shadow charged towards the nearest immortal emperor, Wan Xian. Immortal Emperor Wan Xian took out his treasure and instantly felt an endless amount of power surging towards him. His entire body sank uncontrollably as his heart was filled with shock. Kacha! Below, a huge dragon bit up, and the group of unlucky people was eaten in one bite. Then they fled without a trace. Too weak. The stalwart man was Bao Mia. With a casual move, he could fight against Immortal Emperor Myriad Immortal. Everyone be careful! Immortal Emperor Wan Xian hurriedly reminded. Hua, hua, hua! Bao Mia waved his black iron rod. Shadows streaked across the sky. For a moment, the 5 factions were suppressed. As the black shadows shot out, the faces of those from the major factions were filled with fear. How could these 12 people have such overwhelming power? Powerful attacks accompanied by spirit projection attacks. No one was a match for them. When the attacks landed on their bodies, the spirit attacks followed. It was almost an instant kill. Bao Mia was also smart. He chose to attack others. Everywhere he passed, people were killed. A one-sided massacre. Too scary. How could this be? They could not imagine this result. In the blink of an eye, more than 2,000 people had fallen, other than them. Even so, they were bitterly holding on and could not hold on for too long. My master knew that you would gang up on him. This is the big gift he prepared for you. Bao Mia's figure filled the sky as he charged towards the nearest immortal emperor, Myriad Immortal. His mouth was filled with disdain. Immortal Emperor Myriad Immortal took out his treasure to block the spirit attacks and the man's attack. He was in so much pain that his 2 arms could not hold on much longer. Bang, 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 dozens of attacks landed on Immortal Emperor Myriad Immortal. This old man regrets it. With a bang, Immortal Emperor Myriad Immortal's body exploded. All that was left was a tattered immortal armor and a storage ring. His body was completely destroyed. Bao Mia relied on his defense to ignore their joint attack and directly killed an immortal emperor. He was from the Wind Palace. His powerful advantage was not displayed in this formation. If Immortal Emperor Myriad Immortal had the chance, he would not have come. Too scary. This place was a dangerous place. A peerless, dangerous place. The mighty immortal emperors and devil emperors in the outside world were slaughtered like cabbages in this place, then eaten by a ferocious beast. This was the most terrifying thing in the world. Don't be anxious. It will be your turn soon. Bao Mia turned his head and laughed. His smile was like a demon as he charged towards Immortal Emperor Qiu Yuan of the Fire Alliance. Damn it! This emperor is from the Tong Tian sect. You dare to kill me? Immortal Emperor Qiu Yuan was scared out of his wits. Why did they find him? He threatened the other party and lost his wits. These 12 people fighting together was really terrifying. Even if they joined forces, they were blocked by the immortal armor on the other party. What was the point of fighting? 100% attack. Less than 10% of the attack landed on them. If it was them, they would also kill with gusto. Is the Tong Tian sect so amazing? Unfortunately, you are too arrogant. You dare to disrespect Master and attack the Academy. You are asking for it. Bao Mia charged forward. Threat? What the hell? Anyway, all of you are going to die today. None of you will survive. You! Immortal Emperor Qiu Yuan lost his confidence. 10 or so breaths of time later, he was killed by the violent destruction. He then pounced towards the other few people. They were so scared that their souls were trembling. They were high and mighty existences, yet they were defeated by 12 people. That was rare in the world. If there was medicine for regret, they would rather stay in the sect than come. Conceit could kill. Bao Mia was like a fish in water. In less than an hour, there was no one left in the formation. The last sword immortal Ningchuan was crushed by the fierce power. Chapter 1275. Great Metropolis World, East Barbarian Zone. This place was emitting a terrifying aura. All the forces in Great Metropolis World were paying attention to an important matter. Could Demon Lin succeed in becoming a great emperor? Many people didn't have high hopes for Demon Lin from the five forces. Everyone saw Holy Heaven Academy being besieged. That was a sign of annihilation. Ning Chuan, that trash! Why hasn't there been any news after so long? Sword God Prince's face darkened. If the academy was breached, he could use it to provoke Lin Fei. The longer it took to become a great emperor, the more arrogant Sword God Prince was. Up until now, Lin Fei, who was under the attack of the Heavenly Tao Treasure, continued to persevere and kill Heaven Devastator Demon Emperors. This was Heaven Devastator Demon Emperor, who was ranked 88th among the 100 emperors. Palace Lord, junior brother Ning Chuan, should have succeeded. He will send back good news soon. An immortal emperor said. A small Holy Heaven Academy was attacked by an immortal emperor from Netherworld Palace. Without Lin Fei's support, just those worshippers and that third step demon emperor wouldn't be able to do much. The Sword God Prince's gaze landed on Lin Fei, who was under the dark clouds. Lin Fei was as weak as an ant back then. Now he had grown into a big tree. Once he became a great emperor, no one would be his match, at least in Great Metropolis World. Even the Sector Lord might not be his match. A huge threat. A lower realm kid can be so powerful. I wonder if he is the reincarnation of a great emperor. Sky Cracking Gates area. Immortal Emperor Zhui Yu's expression was solemn. He was shocked by Lin Fei's power. Heaven Devastator Demon Emperor, who had been reborn and was at his peak, couldn't do anything to Lin Fei. No one dared to doubt Lin Fei's true strength. He was a monster. The more monstrous he was, the more immortal Emperor Zhuyu would know how to deal with Lin Fei. How terrifying was he! If Lin Fei came from our Heaven Connecting Gate with his talent, he would definitely become the strongest immortal emperor in the history of our sect. Duanyun Immortal Emperor sighed. Unfortunately, this person is our enemy. Duanyun Immortal Emperors. Words were approved by everyone. Lin Fei was indeed a cultivation genius. No matter where he was, Lin Fei would be able to stand out. What a pity Lin Fei's body is strong. His strength is terrifying, and even if he succeeds in becoming a martial monarch, he will still be in a weakened state. On top of that, he is severely injured and unable to absorb the energy from the Heavenly Tao. Today, he is destined to die in the Wildlands. Immortal Emperor Zhuyu was impressed by Lin Fei's strength. It was just that they were enemies. Their backer would not allow someone like Lin Fei to exist. After eliminating Lin Fei, they no longer needed to care about others in the fight for the position of Sector Lord. They were glad that they had come. He was glad that he had made Lin Fei his target. He was glad that he had killed Lin Fei. It was something to be proud of to have such a powerful heavens chosen. Boom, 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 when the last 20 heaven-destroying devil emperors were destroyed one by one. The rolling dark clouds finally stopped. The great emperor proclamation was about to come to an end. At this moment, under the dark clouds, Lin Fei's body was trembling. There was not a single part of his body that was not injured. He was already in a severely injured state. The dark clouds dispersed. The Heavenly Tao's aura dispersed. The sky was filled with immortal light. It was sacred and inviolable. The terrifying aura disappeared and was replaced by a warm, spring-like immortal light. Demon Lin succeeded in becoming a martial monarch. Damn it, there is still immortal light falling. Once he refines the immortal light, Demon Lin's strength will increase greatly and he will not be in a weakened state. Everyone was shocked. This was a very rare occurrence. The cloud-like immortal light made everyone restless. The warm immortal light shone on Lin Fei's body. The injuries on his body were visible to the naked eye. They were recovering one by one. Whoosh! In the void, a sharp sword intent pierced Lin Fei's forehead. The attack was too sudden. Sword God Prince's figure slowly appeared. Everyone has underestimated you. Facing the heaven-exterminating demon emperor's attack, you were actually able to hold on and successfully become a martial monarch. Unfortunately, you are not fated to refine the immortal light after becoming a martial monarch. Sword God Prince's sword was sharp and domineering. He revealed a smile that only a victor would have. Do you know how long I've waited in order to kill you? Now, you've already been defeated by me. With a single thought from me, you'll die here. The 5 factions, including the spectators, all revealed a rare look of shock. Sword God Prince's speed had reached such a level. In the blink of an eye, the heavily injured Lin Fei was in a hopeless situation. Just as Sword God Prince said, as long as he moved, the domineering sword intent attack would be enough to kill Lin Fei. Lin Fei, who was in a hopeless situation, didn't reveal any fear. Sword God, this is the performance of a weakling. Only a weakling would sneak an attack. Suddenly, Lin Fei laughed. Now that I have become a martial monarch, I will become the top expert in the great metropolis world. All of you will be my stepping stones. From today onwards, my name will be Di Tian. Everywhere I go will be my world. Di Tian? Everyone was astonished. Lin Fei, who was in a hopeless situation, still dared to announce his martial monarch title as Di Tian. His arrogance was unprecedented, especially the 2 words Di Tian. It was filled with heroism. Everywhere I go will be my world. Even their realm lord wouldn't dare to say that. Lin Fei slapped out with his palm, creating a huge current. You are courting death. Sword God Prince was enraged. His sword intent pierced forward, wanting to pierce through Lin Fei's head. But something unexpected happened. The sword intent couldn't advance any further. It was as if it had met a boulder, unable to move an inch. You can't even break my defense. What right do you have to kill me? Lin Fei sent out 3 palm strikes, forcing Sword God Prince to retreat. He then stood with his hands behind his back. Hua hua hua, the heavenly Tao sent down an immortal light. This immortal light contained terrifying energy. It was the benefit of powerful immortal emperors. Ordinary immortal emperors wouldn't have such immortal light. Kill Lin Fei and snatch the immortal light. The terrifying immortal light made everyone's eyes turn red. After snatching the immortal light, Lin Fei wouldn't be that strong no matter how strong he was. Swoosh, swoosh, the sky was filled with figures. All of my doppelgangers, come out. The immortal light was filled with terrifying energy. Lin Fei wouldn't let them snatch it. After shouting, the 14 clones soared into the sky. They opened their mouths and devoured the immortal light. 14 black vortexes appeared in the sky. 14 clones. These clones are so powerful. Each of them is comparable to a second-step immortal emperor. No wonder Lin Fei is so powerful. It must be an ancient cultivation technique. The people who rushed up were startled. They had seen clones before. How could they not be shocked when they saw 14 clones with the strength of a second-step immortal emperor? Many people guessed. Lin Fei wasn't an immortal emperor. They couldn't figure out why he could contain such shocking divine power. Now they finally understood. This was the answer. 14 clones, extremely powerful clones. Lin Fei released the 14 clones and devoured the immortal light to their heart's content. The bottomless vortexes devoured large amounts of immortal light. 10,000 miles of mountains and rivers. 10,000 miles of mountains and rivers flew out, blocking in front of everyone. An immortal sword appeared in his hand. He swung it at the people who rushed over. Invincible sword art, blood splatter, 100% strength. A terrifying wave of sword light flashed in front of everyone. The great terror crushed over. What a fast sword! Is this emperor dead? The powerful immortal emperors and demon emperors at the front were sliced in half. One by one, they fell from the sky, losing all signs of life. Just one sword. Lin Fei killed dozens of experts. How can he still be so strong? Impossible, impossible. Lin Fei used blood splatter more than 10 times consecutively. Sea of sword light. The people surrounding him were utterly defeated. Every sword light was reaping lives. The people from the 5 factions were shocked. They had underestimated Lin Fei's strength. He had hidden it so deeply. Lin Fei moved his sword. Everyone is surprised, right? This emperor said that today, you will all become my stepping stones, an unforgettable nightmare. With this obstruction, the 14 clones devoured more than half of the immortal light. Lin Fei's attack had clearly frightened them. Immortal Emperor Zhuyu, everyone attacked together. Delay Lin Fei, then arrange for others to deal with Lin Fei's clones. We cannot let him refine it successfully. Sword God, young master shouted, sensing that the situation was not good. The injured Lin Fei's strength was not affected. This was out of everyone's expectations. All right, everyone attacked together to delay Lin Fei. Immortal Emperor Zhuyu charged forward, a black axe in his hand. He used mountain-splitting move, terrifying and domineering. The people present were not fools. Lin Fei had once again performed a miracle. If this continued, they would be the ones to suffer. Your strength is not enough. Lin Fei's true self whirled annihilation, sword swung out a sword light, striking the other party's axe. Justice said, Immortal Emperor Zhu유's strength was too weak. My strength is actually inferior to his. With this, Immortal Emperor Zhuyu was sent flying, crashing into a mountain range. His face was filled with unimaginable shock. In the Heaven Ascension Gate, he was proficient in close combat. The power of his axe was absolutely terrifying. But now he could not block Lin Fei's sword. His hands were numb, and he almost dropped his axe. Senior brother. Duanyun Immortal Emperor was shocked. His senior brother, who was proficient in close combat, was actually sent flying by a sword. After Lin Fei sent Immortal Emperor Zhuyu flying, a huge black bowl appeared above his head. Terrifying black light shone down, accompanied by a smug voice. This is our Pill Cauldron Gate's myriad transformations immortal bowl. It can refine anything. In a few breaths, you will become a pile of blood. Let's see how arrogant you can be then. The black light was corrosive. When it landed on Lin Fei's body, it tried to corrode his flesh. Lin Fei had long attained the primal chaos body. His flesh and blood were terrifyingly strong. With a slight tremble, the black light shattered. The true self whirled annihilation, sword stabbed upwards, shattering a huge patch of black light. A sword pierced through this immortal bowl. The 7 to 8 immortal emperors who were working together to activate it vomited blood on the spot. They hurriedly kept the myriad transformations immortal bowl, looking at it as though their parents had died. This broken bowl of yours is not much. Lin Fei raised his sword and slashed. Sword light swept across like silk threads, killing the people of Pill Cauldron Gate. Immortal emperors and devil emperors fell. Chapter 1276. How can this be? After becoming a great emperor, Lin Fei revealed his terrifying invincible strength. The 5 factions were all dumbfounded. Even Immortal Emperor Zhuyu from the Tongtian Gate, who is known to be invincible in close combat, was instantly suppressed by Di Tian's invincible strength. He was no match for Di Tian in a head-on clash and was sent flying with a single sword strike. Pill Cauldron Gates suffered even more losses. The sect treasure they brought had a large hole pierced through it, and its power was greatly reduced. It would take a long time to repair. Sword God Prince from the Nether Palace couldn't break through Lin Fei's defense, even though he had the upper hand. Everyone suffered a crushing defeat. Lin Fei was an invincible god of war. With a light suppression, he held back some of the experts from the 5 factions. After destroying Di Tian's clones, his strength will definitely be greatly reduced. The 5 factions understood how difficult it was to deal with Di Tian. With powerful divine power and invincible defense, it would definitely be difficult for them to deal with Di Tian. The clones were Di Tian's foundation. Roar, everyone who charged forward unleashed a sky full of divine art attacks that were as resplendent as the stars. All of a sudden, a loud roar rang out as a huge black, ferocious beast exuding a vicious aura swam out. Countless attacks landed on the beast, but it was fine. Its huge body swept out and smashed into the bodies of the immortal emperors and devil emperors, causing their corpses to explode. Blood mist filled the sky. The sudden attack caught them off guard. A ferocious beast was hiding in the void. The immortal emperors and demon emperors reformed their bodies. The ferocious beast opened its mouth and swallowed the pitiful group of immortal emperors and demon emperors. The extinct primordial evil dragon. The huge ferocious beast was Hairball. Furball devoured the celestial emperor and demon emperor in one bite, then disappeared into the void once more, appearing and disappearing unpredictably. Boundless fear enveloped everyone. They were stopped by Hairball. The 14 clones devoured all the immortal light. Sunlight appeared again. Lin Fei stood with his hands behind his back. All clones fuse! Hua hua hua, the clones entered Lin Fei's body one after another. Huge power was added to his body, and his aura rose. Quickly stop Di Tian. Young Master Sword God was anxious. The great secret art blasted out, and the great millstone of sword intent crushed everything in its path. Pill Cauldron Gate, Tongtian Gate, Wind Palace, and Fire Union all made their moves. As long as one wasn't an idiot, they would understand that as long as Lin Fei fused with all his doppelgangers, no one here would be able to withstand a single move. Lin Fei pointed his finger, and a black vortex appeared in front of him. Invincible sword technique, reincarnation sword. The attacks that filled the sky were all shattered by the vortex. The rest of the power couldn't harm Lin Fei at all. When the 14 clones entered Lin Fei's body, an unprecedentedly powerful force caused the space around them to tremble. A terrifying pressure bore down on them, causing their faces to turn pale. When everyone looked at Lin Fei, they felt like they were facing an ancient god of war. The power of the ancient war god continued to rise. Everything is over. Lin Fei moved, waving the true self world-destroying sword in his hand. Invincible sword technique, blood-spurting sword. The wave-like sword intent spread out in all directions. Danger! Everyone's hearts were trembling. Bam, 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 bam. After becoming an emperor, a terrifying sword appeared. Young Master Sword God didn't have his previous arrogance. Facing the sword, his eyes changed, and he retreated rapidly. A golden flower appeared in his hand, which he crushed on the spot, and a Jingguang protected his body. I can't accept this. I really can't accept this. Young Master Sword God was very clear that he couldn't deal with Di Tian today, and it was unknown whether he could leave this place alive. Immortal Emperor Zhui Yu's expression changed drastically, and he couldn't care less. Junior brothers, quickly fly to me. A black pearl was crushed in an instant. A layer of black energy appeared around Immortal Emperor Zhui. The Immortal Emperors and Demon Emperors from the Heaven Ascension sect were completely flustered, and they hurriedly burrowed into the void. On the Pill Cauldron sect side, they activated the myriad transformations Immortal Bowl again, and all of them hid under it, activating their energy to escape into the void. This sword was unstoppable. It swept through everything. The invincible power crushed over. One by one, the demon emperors and immortal emperors were cleaved in half at the waist, their bodies shattered, and they didn't even have the chance to regenerate their flesh and blood. After devouring a large amount of immortal light, and with the 14 doppelgangers as one, their strength was unprecedented. God Force evolved into Ancient God Force, and not only did it destroy their bodies, but it also crushed everything. Bam, bam, bam. The terrifying power crashed against the secret treasures. One sword contained more than 100 attacks. Even under the protection of the secret treasures, the terrifying power made their hearts tremble, and they spat out large mouthfuls of blood as they looked in horror at Di Tian, who was standing with his hands behind his back. To be able to block this emperor's first sword, I wonder what the second sword will do. Lin Fei slowly walked over. The second sword came with great momentum, and its power increased significantly. The terrifying power swept over. The secret treasures that withstood the first wave exploded on the spot when they met the second sword. Although their treasures were strong, they couldn't withstand Lin Fei's incomparably tyrannical power, and this result was not surprising. After losing the protection of their treasures, the people from the 5 forces realized that they were the only ones left in the sky. As for the others, they had all disappeared. In other words, they had all been killed, and their hearts were in turmoil. The people from the 5 forces looked at each other, unable to conceal the fear and bitterness in their hearts. One day, they had suffered a crushing defeat. The power of a single person had crushed them. They who were so high and mighty felt fear when facing a single person. Lin Fei, you win today. As long as you are willing to let our Pale Cauldron Gate off, we can announce our withdrawal from the fight for the Realm Lord, and withdraw our sex branch from the great metropolis realm, said a pale-faced immortal emperor from the Pale Cauldron Gate. Don't worry, this emperor will not kill you. Lin Fei stood with his hands behind his back, unafraid that they would escape. This emperor will only invite you to the academy for a cup of tea and a chat. They were all injured. The powerful Lin Fei was not someone they could contend with. They would definitely die if they went all the way. Since it had come to this, they might as well admit defeat. As you wish. The Pale Cauldron Gate's immortal emperor heaved a sigh of relief and kept the tattered myriad transformations immortal. A bunch of bastards, admitting defeat just like that. Immortal Emperor Zhua, you scolded the Pale Cauldron Gate for being useless, raising the white flag so quickly. He could only say, as long as Dao Friend Lin doesn't kill us, our Heaven Connecting Gate will also announce our withdrawal from the fight. The Fire Union had suffered the heaviest losses. Seeing that the 2 major sects had admitted defeat, they immediately admitted defeat. The Wind Palace's Immortal Emperor and Devil Emperor also admitted defeat after a moment of hesitation. They did not want to be killed by Lin Fei, and even if they had treasures, they did not dare to use them in front of Lin Fei. What if they couldn't? The outcome would be very terrifying. Admitting defeat was quite embarrassing, but in order to survive, they were willing to do so. After they died, they would still be eaten by ancient beasts. Just the thought of it made their scalps go numb, and it constantly stimulated their fragile hearts. They did not want to be eaten after they died. 4 of the 5 forces admitted defeat. Chapter 1277. The ending came too quickly. They came with great fanfare, but in the blink of an eye, only the remnants were left. Lin Fei was like an insurmountable mountain, pressuring them to the point of suffocation. This was a terrifying enemy. Even their secret treasures could not withstand his attack. Fortunately, they came from a sect. They could barely survive. Lin Fei, you are very powerful. You are now the #1 expert in Great Metropolis Heaven, suppressing our 5 factions to the point of not being able to raise our heads. Even the Heaven Extermination Demon Emperor, formed by the Heavenly Dao Treasure, could not kill you. You are really powerful. The Sword God, Prince, laughed sinisterly. But no matter how strong you are, the Holy Heaven Academy that you came from has already become a pile of ruins. Your wife and daughter are already dead. In the end, you are still a pitiful worm. Sword God Young Master knew that he had lost, utterly lost. Not only did he lose the power to compete, even his senior and junior brothers were mostly dead. When danger came, he used secret treasures to survive, but he was injured. But the others were not so lucky. Sword God Young Master knew that he would face the criticism of the other elders when he returned. Lin Fei shook his head. You are wrong. Your people did not kill their way in. Otherwise, there would be no news of you. Your small actions are useless against me. The sword god young master was a smart person. He went crazy. That's impossible. Your entire academy doesn't have anything good. Don't even mention powerful formations. How could they block the attack? You will not repent until you see your coffin. I will do as you wish. I will make you convinced. Roar! In the void, the primordial evil dragon shrunk, turning into a small guy, landed on Lin Fei's shoulder, spitting out a jade slip. After crushing it, a canopy appeared in the sky. We are finished. The scene of Sword Immortal Ningchuan being killed by a rod came from the sky. Lin Fei looked up at Sword God Young Master. Are you satisfied now? Boom! Sword God Young Master suddenly had an item in his hand, which he crushed. Lin Fei, you can't kill me, you can't. Swoosh, terrifying light speed. Young Master, Sword God, turned into a stream of light and left. When this young master returns, sooner or later, there will be a chance for me to make a comeback. This young master will use the treasure of extreme speed of the heavenly way. No matter how powerful Lin Fei is, he won't be able to catch up. The Sword God Prince was very confident in his treasures. This was something that he had paid a huge price to buy back then, all for the sake of dealing with situations like this. Heavenly Tao extreme speed. No one could catch up to him unless he broke through that step. Do you really think you can leave? Lin Fei's voice resounded throughout the world. A pillar of light shot up from the void of space. After that, pillars of light rose all over the sky. The sword god young master, who had the extreme speed of the heavenly law, felt as if he had encountered mud. His speed kept on slowing down, and he was restricted in a narrow space. Damn it! What kind of spell formation is this? Why can it stop the speed of the heavenly Tao? Up and down, sword and ten attack. The space inside the light pillar was unbelievably sturdy. The sword god prince was unable to break out of the encirclement. Behind him, Lin Fei slowly walked over, stepped into the space, and swung his sword. Run! Why aren't you running? Ah, a blood-curdling scream. Sword god young master's left arm flew up, fresh blood gushing out. Lin Fei was secretly glad that he had arranged for his clone to lay down the formation. If not, he would have really let sword god young master leave today. Heavenly Tao extreme speed. Even Lin Fei couldn't catch up to him. You lowly brat, why would the heavens care for you, why? Sword god young master had a smooth life since he was young and cultivated a miraculous technique. Unfortunately, he met Lin Fei in the lower world and was killed by his clone. When Lin Fei came to the upper world, he wanted to kill Lin Fei, but who knew that he would end up like this? Another sword flew over. Sword god young master's right arm was also chopped off. The ancient god power affected the wound, causing sword god young master to be unable to regenerate his flesh and blood. If I am a lowly brat from the lower world, then what are you? You have lost to me. Life is full of ups and downs. It doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want just because you are born in a higher world. Today you are destined to die. Die by the hands of the lowly brat you speak of. You dare! Lin Fei stabbed out with his sword. Sword god young master's heart trembled, and he finally panicked. He used all sorts of secret techniques to attack this sword. However, this sword was like a water droplet that pierced through all the attacks and headed for his brow. Death energy descended. You dare to kill my disciple! A supreme will descended from the heavens. All living beings in great metropolis world were trembling. This was a true invincible expert. No one dared to go against this intent. Space, time, everything stopped. Just this intent alone could cause normal third or fourth step experts to fall on the spot. Sword god young master's panicked eyes revealed joy. Master, quickly kill him! No one can stop me from killing someone I want to kill. Lin Fei's heart was firm, and he wasn't affected by this intent. His strong god power shook, and time and space were shattered. He stabbed his sword into Sword God Young Master's brow and twisted it forcefully. No, this young master will not die, master. Hong, a terrifying ancient god power strangulation. Sword God Young Master's head was twisted into mush. The supreme intent was totally enraged. He dared to kill his own disciple. Sword God! The supreme intent transformed into an old man with a strong aura. He pointed at Lin Fei with the extreme speed of the heavenly Tao and pointed at Lin Fei's brow. Die! A ferocious power surged over. Lin Fei's body shook and he stabilized himself. He was shocked. This fellow is definitely the strongest, undying old man I have ever seen. Old undying, if you want to kill me, then come with your main body. With this intent of yours, you don't need to leave today. Lin Fei hollered. The terrifying ancient god power shook and shattered the finger. A light pillar charged into the sky and cut off all connections between heaven and earth. He slashed with his sword. If the old man came with his main body, Lin Fei might feel some pressure, but this intent was nothing. After losing connection, the old man was surprised. He used all sorts of secret techniques, and they were at least 10 times stronger than Sword God Young Master. The old man underestimated Lin Fei's strength. After cutting off the connection, Lin Fei didn't hold back anymore. The powerful ancient god power appeared, and each sword was stronger than the one before. It is actually ancient god power. The old man recognized it right away and was totally shocked. How can you cultivate ancient god power? Lin Fei slashed once more. When you reach hell, you will know. Hua, hua, hua. The ancient god power was like an ocean. Wave after wave. It crushed over and over again. Xiao, Lin Fei's true self-world, destroying sword pierced through the old man's brow. He didn't die on the spot. He looked at Lin Fei. Amazing, really amazing. In the future, I will personally deal with you. This supreme intent exploded. This undying old man is really amazing. Luckily, my 14 clones merged into one and refined the celestial light. Otherwise, I would have died today. Why didn't you guys leave? Waiting for Lin Fei to return. Pill Cauldron Gate, Tongtian Sect, Fire Union, and Wind Palace didn't leave and stayed where they were. If one observed carefully, they could see that their hearts were trembling. They admitted defeat because they were pressured by Lin Fei's strength and didn't want to be the unlucky ones under his sword. Sword God Young Master used his secret treasure and displayed the extreme speed of Heaven Tao. They also wanted to know, if Lin Fei couldn't catch up, they would take the opportunity to leave. It was best to have Sword God Young Master test the waters. In the end, it was unexpected. Lin Fei had set up an array in advance and secretly trapped Sword God Young Master. This time they were well behaved. They didn't dare to have any other thoughts. We said that we would be guests, so we will definitely be guests. Because we are all honest people, Immortal Emperor Zhuyu said shamelessly, cursing Lin Fei in his heart for being sinister and secretly setting up an array to bait them. We agree with Immortal Emperor Zhuyu, the others hurriedly said. In fact, they were all cursing Lin Fei in their hearts. Too evil. Congratulations on becoming the strongest person in the great metropolis world and suppressing the 5 major factions. The 5 major sects will definitely be shocked by your strength and won't dare to act rashly again. Lu Ziyue came in dressed in black again. Just as they were about to leave, Lu Ziyue came with her old servant. She took the initiative to congratulate him. Hee, you flatter me. This little achievement is really nothing in the eyes of your Tianyin Tower. Lin Fei knew that Lu Ziyue was here, but he didn't expose her. The people from the 4 major factions were surprised to see Tianyin Tower's Lu Ziyue. They couldn't figure out the situation. Lu Ziyue thought highly of Lin Fei, but that was all. She didn't think that he had a chance to become a great emperor. In the end, she played a huge joke on her. Lin Fei really became a great emperor, and his strength was terrifying. Even sword god young master's treasure that displayed the extreme speed of heaven, Dao couldn't escape the fate of being killed. At this moment, Lu Ziyue couldn't help but take Lin Fei seriously. If Lin Fei killed the people from the 4 major factions, he would be a brute. However, Lin Fei didn't kill them. Instead, he invited them to be guests. If nothing unexpected happened, as long as Lin Fei withstood the pressure, the position of great metropolis world's boundary lord would belong to Lin Fei. Lu Ziyue didn't like Lin Fei's complacency. At this moment, she could only suppress it and smiled. Our Tianyan Tower doesn't have anyone who can suppress everyone alone. Who didn't like compliments? Lin Fei also liked it. Anyway, after becoming a great emperor, the entire great metropolis world would be under his control. He wasn't afraid of Lu Ziyue doing anything. After chatting for a while, Lu Ziyue was about to leave when she suddenly stopped. Before I leave, I'll give you a message. The person who attacked you just now was Sword God Young Master's master, Shao Huan. He is one of the 3 major factions under Sword Immortal White Emperor. Sword God is his most beloved disciple. She turned and left. Could it be that this woman just wanted to give me a message? When did she become so generous? Could it be that she is plotting something? Lin Fei was shocked at the background of Sword God Master. 3 major factions under Sword Immortal White Emperor? What a great background. This identity wasn't ordinary. Chapter 1278. We didn't lose for nothing. When we were scheming against Lin Fei, he was also scheming against us. We are old and not as good as him. He had planned for this day. Only we foolishly thought that we had him. He had already dug a huge hole and was just waiting for us to jump in. We went all out and brought most of our men. The remaining strength isn't enough to deal with Lin Fei. We are really going to lose the right to fight for the position of Sector Lord. When these immortal emperors and demon emperors were invited to Holy Heaven Academy, the air was filled with the stench of blood. As for their men, they were all gone. They were all dead. All dead. Not a single one was left. When Lin Fei returned to the academy, he was met with cheers. Seeing immortal Emperor Zhuyu and the others dejectedly, he ignored them and found people to arrange places for them to stay. No one would be able to escape once they reached the academy. The elders and consecrators accepted all of this. Their hearts were filled with shock. The dean's strength after becoming a great emperor was beyond their imagination. His every action was like a tall mountain, pressuring them to the point where they couldn't breathe. He wasn't targeting them on purpose. His casual aura shocked everyone. After making the necessary arrangements, Li Tianlan, there was one thing that needed to be done. Lin Fei disappeared from the Holy Heaven Academy and came out from the void. He appeared outside the Netherworld Palace and slammed his palm onto the formation of the Netherworld Palace. A huge area collapsed. The Mountain Gate formation was broken. The remaining people of Nether Palace were shocked. Why was Demon Lin here? Where was Palace Master? Lin Fei didn't start a massacre. His huge aura crushed over. The elders, immortal emperors, and demon emperors that charged out all fell to the ground, their faces filled with shock. The first to bear the brunt were the disciples of Sword Immortal by D. One by one, they died at Lin Fei's hands. All of them were killed in one move. He even killed Sword Immortal Young Master and fought with Shao Huan. None of the leaders and elders survived. As for the remaining people, Lin Fei found people to guard them. This was equivalent to putting them under house arrest. What to do with them was another matter. Lin Fei had succeeded in becoming a great emperor and was given the title Di Tian. This news spread like the wind and shocked the entire world. The neighboring worlds were also shocked. This had nothing to do with Lin Fei. After returning to the academy, Lin Fei gave a few instructions and then announced that he would be going into seclusion and not meeting anyone. At this moment, No one dared to show dissatisfaction with the magnificent feat of suppressing the 5 great forces. While he was in seclusion, the grand array outside opened. This was to prevent others from taking the opportunity to plunder the peaches. After seclusion, Lin Fei's original intention was to refine the immortal light. The benefits of becoming a great emperor were immense. His strength was rising with every passing moment, and there was no sign of it stopping. There's no need for me to refine it myself. My clone can refine it perfectly. This is unnecessary. Don't worry. Lin Fei then checked the seed in the depths of his knowledge sea. When he used his divine sense to take a look, he was immediately given a fright. The seed that had not moved all this time had already sprouted, growing into a Tao tree that took root inside. It was imposing, and a vast great Tao aura pervaded the air. Great Tao of true self. Vast and imposing. Lin Fei opened his palm, and the aura of the Tao appeared in his hand. It was flawless, and the flame-like Tao danced in his hand, causing the surrounding space to tremble. Wang, the true self world destroyer sword appeared in Lin Fei's hand. The true self great Tao poured into it, and the sword let out a sword hum, filled with joy. As expected, it is stronger than using celestial force. It is at least 10 times stronger. Lin Fei was satisfied, and his face was full of confidence. With the support of the great Tao, who was afraid of who? Previously, when he used celestial force or God force to activate the true self world destroyer sword, its power was always lacking. With the appearance of the great Tao, Lin Fei's strength increased once again. No one could compare to this speed of improvement. Ding! Congratulations to player Lin Fei for obtaining the Immortal Emperor title. Ding! Congratulations to player Lin Fei for becoming an Immortal Emperor. As soon as he opened the upgrade system, the sound of the system kept ringing. I have finally become an Immortal Emperor. Lin Fei couldn't help but sigh. If he did not upgrade the system, it might have been impossible for him to reach this step in his entire life. Along the way, he had been on the path of killing. After going through all kinds of hardships, he stepped onto the peak and became an Immortal Emperor. After sighing for a while, Lin Fei returned to normal. The system is so stingy. I have already become an Immortal Emperor, and there is no reward for me. Lin Fei complained. Suddenly, a sound came from the system. Ding! Because player Lin Fei has reached the maximum level and become an Immortal Emperor, the system will no longer reward you. Ding! Player Lin Fei has advanced to the Immortal Emperor realm. New main storyline unlocked. Ding! Main storyline unlocked. System setting in progress. Lin Fei was stunned. What was the upgrade system doing again? As soon as he heard this, he immediately realized that something bad had happened. His sixth sense was never wrong. Ding! Because player Lin Fei has become an Immortal Emperor, the upgrade system has analyzed and set a new mission successfully. Ding! World Overlord mission unlocked. Ding! World Overlord side mission unlocked. Lin Fei was having a headache. World Overlord mission. What a joke! Why would the upgrade system give such a mission? More importantly, it didn't sound very reliable. Mission issued. Mission 1. Become a sector lord within a year. Mission 2. Expand the territory of the great metropolis world within 10 years. Swallow at least 2 worlds. Lin Fei's face fell. I knew it was nothing good. It really is nothing good. Let me swallow 2 worlds? Expand the territory of the great metropolis world? This territory can still be expanded? What a headache. The first mission was easy. If nothing went wrong, becoming a sector lord was a sure thing. The second mission was not an ordinary difficulty. Ever since this world belonged to the Iron Blood Alliance, he knew that the forces in this world were complicated. Expanding the territory meant poking a hornet's nest. It was not an ordinary hornet's nest. Who knew how many people's interests would be affected? Ding! Completed 2 missions. You will open the invincible devil world and summon an army of devils to help you achieve great hegemony. Ding! If the mission is not completed, the system will forcefully erase the player and help the next player. Lin Fei opened his eyes wide and scolded, "Damn! System, you don't have to be so scary." Upon hearing about the rewards, their eyes naturally lit up, especially when it came to the invincible demon world. With just a single word, they could tell that these demons were extremely powerful and monstrous. However, the next sentence immediately silenced them, as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over them. Forcefully erased? The system must be faulty. Ding! Player has become an immortal emperor and possesses great strength. The upgrade system's main storyline has just begun. Player can only truly immerse themselves in this game and rule the world. Note, our system needs strong people. A truly invincible strong person. I hope player will not lose their courage. The system seemed to have guessed what Lin Fei was thinking and said coldly, "Damn." Chapter 1279. Brother Wu Huan, what's wrong? In a palace, 3 people were sitting around and drinking. The 3 of them were all old men. The one who spoke was an old man with a white beard and a bald head. He spoke to another old man with white eyebrows. "My disciple, the sword god, was just killed. Even my will was destroyed." The white-browed old man said, "If Lin Fei was here, he would definitely recognize that this person was Sha Wu Huan. Didn't your disciple go to a small world to fight for the position of sector lord? Did heaven-reaching sect attack?" The bald old man put down his wine cup. "Is it heaven-reaching sect or pill cauldron sect? If they dare to violate the rules, I will be the first to kill them." Another old man had a sharp gaze and murderous aura. They were the 3 giants under Sword Celestial by D. The 3 giants were in charge of daily affairs. Unless it was something important, Sword Celestial by D would only appear. Sha Wu Huan was very calm, but anger flashed in his eyes. "It's not them. My disciple died in the hands of someone from a small world. It was an enemy from back then." The 2 giants thought that it was done by other forces. Who would have thought that it was an enemy from a small world? That kid you mentioned back then. Sword Celestial Prince was Sha Wu Huan's favorite disciple. He had all sorts of treasures and resources. In addition to his shocking talent, he was quite famous. They had heard of some of the things that happened back then. It wasn't a secret that he broke a mystic technique but failed at the last step. Later on, he switched to another technique. It's him. My will was destroyed by him. I suspect that someone is supporting that kid. The formation isolated everything. Sha Wu Huan didn't know who did it in the end. After thinking about it, there was definitely someone supporting that kid. It might even be their people who did it. That kid deserves to die. He deserves to die. Do you want me to arrange for a disciple to help you deal with that kid? The 2 giants said that, but they were happy in their hearts. Don't think that they were just sitting together and drinking. Sword Celestial Prince never hid his ambition. It was good that he died now. With 1 less enemy, their disciples would be able to stand out. I will arrange for someone to deal with a kid from a lower world. Sword Celestial Prince is my favorite disciple. I won't let him die in vain. They have to pay the price. Sha Wu Huan got up and walked into the void behind him. He returned to his palace. Sha Wu Huan immediately summoned his disciple. He told them that the sword god had been killed. These disciples had long been dissatisfied with the sword god young master, and when they heard the news, they were stunned on the spot. Following that, they were filled with all sorts of anger, and they kept saying that they wanted to take revenge for their senior brother. The 5 of you go personally. Sha Wu Huan arranged for 5 of his disciples to take out a sword talisman. If you can't win, take out this sword talisman of mine, and you will be able to kill them. He even took out the sword talisman. They were very shocked. Sword talismans were powerful treasures. Only a master of their master's level would seal a sword will attack in an immortal talisman. Once it was torn apart, the sword will attack would appear again. If it wasn't for an important matter, he wouldn't have spent so much effort to refine a sword talisman. Don't worry, Master. We will definitely bring her back. The 5 disciples patted their chests and promised. The heavenly gate, this great force. He received a shocking news. Junior Brother Joujua and the rest have been invited to Divine Heaven Academy as guests. Hearing this news, they were collectively dumbfounded. Even a 3rd step immortal emperor would not dare to act rashly when Junior Brother Jiu brought his fellow disciples over. Now that he was invited over as a guest, what kind of joke was this? Inviting them to be guests seemed casual, but in reality they were forced to do so. The other party was stronger than them. The person who invited them as guests was the Dean of Divine Heaven Academy, Lin Fei. This matter was worth their time to think about. A pocket dimension invited them as guests. This was equivalent to house arrest. The heavenly gate had no place to hang their face. Immediately arrange for people to get in touch with this Lin Fei. There must be no more casualties. Everyone was very angry that a fellow from a pocket dimension dared to not take the heavenly gate seriously. After a round of discussion, they suppressed their anger and decided to arrange for people to gather information. They reported the news to their superiors. This news was too serious. In the news, there was even news about withdrawing from the competition for the position of Sector Lord. This was something they could not decide. The matter of Sector Lord was very important to them. The number of worlds in the universe was limited. Naturally, the position of Sector Lord was also limited. Every carrot had its own pit. Even if it was a small carrot, the heavenly gate would not give up. The other forces also received the news and were shocked internally. The competition for the position of Sector Lord had not started. Their people were being suppressed, and their people were still in the hands of the other party. For a moment, they remembered Lin Fei. They also knew that this person was arrogant. After becoming a great emperor, he called himself Ditian. Everywhere he went, he became an emperor. As their people were all under house arrest in the academy, they did not dare to act rashly. They reported the matter first. Anger was inevitable. This was a provocation, a blatant provocation of their authority. Especially in the message, it was revealed that they were to give up on the competition for the position of Sector Lord. This undoubtedly touched their bottom line. This news was temporarily suppressed internally. It was limited to the upper echelons and core members. They did not dare to spread it to the lower echelons or other places. They didn't want to make a big deal out of this embarrassing matter and become a joke to the public. Lin Fei came out of seclusion not long after. At this time, the forces of Great Metropolis World were following the lead of Divine Heaven Academy. As long as one was not an idiot, they could see that in less than half a year, Ditian would become the master of a world and control Great Metropolis World. Lin Fei's seclusion did not dampen their enthusiasm. There were many people outside the academy. When he heard this news, Lin Fei shook his head and did not bother about them. If they wanted to wait, then they would wait outside. The 12 generals headed out to wipe out Nether Palace, Skycracking Sect, Pill Cauldron Gate, Fire Alliance, Nether Palace, and the remaining forces. After Lin Fei and his wives gathered for a while, he found Demon Emperor Silence Kuin. Master. Demon Emperor Silence Kuin was respectful. Looking at this young man, Demon Emperor Silence Kuin was filled with shock. In such a short time, this fellow who was not his matchback then had become an untouchable mountain. Even though he could use the strength of a 4th step cultivator, Demon Emperor Silence Kuin had no confidence against Lin Fei. Very strong. That was a very strong and dangerous strength. Lin Fei sat down. Why, you don't recognize me? This old servant is fortunate to be Master's follower, Demon Emperor Silence Kuin said emotionally. The strength of a 1st step Celestial Emperor was already so terrifying. In the future, when he reached 4th step Celestial Emperor, there would not be many in the entire world who could fight him. Was there a need to be so emotional? Lin Fei chuckled. I want to ask you, does your heaven demon race know anything about expanding our territory? This was Lin Fei's goal. 2 missions. The first one wasn't urgent, but the second one was to swallow 2 worlds within 10 years. He had to take it seriously, as he didn't want to be killed by the system. Why did he have to create a world overlord quest when he could have just leveled up? What a scam! If the system was a person, Lin Fei would have grabbed it and beaten it up. Who asked it to create a world overlord mission? Moreover, it was a forceful one. Demon Emperor Silence, Kuin's body shook and he nearly lost his balance. Master, you want to expand the world? I am just casually asking. You don't have to be so nervous. Lin Fei said, I am not a fool. I won't be so naive to think that I can do whatever I want. I am just curious. Luckily, he was just casually asking. Demon Emperor Silence, Kuin, heaved a sigh of relief and didn't really suspect anything. Expanding the territory had always been an extremely difficult matter. Thus, he felt that his master understood. Master, you have asked the right person. Demon Emperor Silence, Kuin, said proudly. This old servant doesn't know about other things, but I am very clear about this. Our heaven demon race has this secret. You should know that our heaven demon race has an aggressive nature. Those old antiques have always been trying to invade other worlds to expand their world's territory. Holy Heaven Academy had a lot of information, but there was nothing about expanding the territory. This was already a secret of the upper echelons. Lin Fei pondered for a while before coming to find Demon Emperor Silence Kun. Luckily, he didn't make this trip for nothing. After a long speech, Lin Fei came to a realization. So as long as I swallow the world core, I can expand the territory, and only the sector lord knows the location of the world core if I want to expand the territory. It is the same as fighting with the sector lord. Lin Fei understood everything. He also understood something. Why was Great Metropolis world still unharmed? Without the sector lord, no one knew the location of the world core. The sector lord isn't easy to kill. They have obtained the support of the world's energy. The powers above won't allow them to swallow them and change the current situation. Once they appear, they will become the common target of attack. This matter wasn't easy to handle. After leaving the place where Demon Emperor Silence Kuin was, Lin Fei frowned. Although he said that he knew some news, it wasn't any good news. It didn't seem easy to kill the sector lord and obtain the world core. For now, he didn't have the strength to do so. Let's become the sector lord first and talk about the rest in the future. In any case, I still have 10 years. Lin Fei could only suppress the frustration in his heart. The system had really dug a hole for him. Sir Dean, there is someone outside requesting to meet you. As he walked, a vice dean came in and said that there was someone outside requesting to meet him. I am not free now. Go and send him away. In the academy, Lin Fei wasn't used to not being an emperor yet. The vice dean said again, Dean, that person said that he wants to meet you no matter what. He even sent something over and said that if the dean sees it, you will definitely invite him in. Oh, let me take a look. The vice dean took out a folded piece of white paper. Lin Fei took it and unfolded the paper. 2 words appeared in his field of vision. What are these words? The vice dean took a peek and frowned. He didn't recognize these words. Go and invite the person over. No one noticed that when Lin Fei saw the 2 words on the white paper, a hint of astonishment flashed across his eyes. Chapter 1280. The dean is inside. The vice principal quickly returned with his men and left as soon as they arrived. He's quite arrogant. Once the vice dean left, one of the cloaked men revealed a look of dissatisfaction. The other said, It's normal to be arrogant. He's young and powerful. Is it possible for him to be arrogant? But don't forget why we're here. Humph. That person was dissatisfied again. He seemed to be afraid of the person beside him. Only a bumpkin would take this seriously. The 2 of them walked in. After entering the palace, they saw a person standing not far away. From his back, he looked like a tall mountain. Dean DeTian is indeed the #1 expert in the great metropolis world. No wonder they were defeated. Lin Fei turned around and said, "It's just a small matter, not worth mentioning. But this emperor is very curious about your background." These two fellows were very, very strong. With a casual glance, Lin Fei realized that he couldn't see through their faces. He was blocked by a force. Logically speaking, with Lin Fei's realm, with a pair of eyes, he could see through everything. These two people should have a powerful treasure on them. From the two words on the paper, Lin Fei realized that their background was extraordinary. They came from a mysterious force. Since you recognize these two words, you should know something. Why ask when you already know the answer? The black-robed man on the left said, "What the hell do I know?" Lin Fei cursed in his heart. "I recognize that it's a Mongolian word. I really don't know anything else. Please enlighten me." Lin Fei said straightforwardly, "If the two of you don't want to say anything, it's fine. This emperor has many things to do. Forgive me for not receiving you. Putting on airs? Do whatever you want. I don't care." The two words on the paper were Mongolian words. What did they mean? Lin Fei really didn't know. "DeTian, we can come to find you. Don't be so shameless. Don't think that you can suppress the people from the 5 great forces. In our eyes, you're just a stronger ant." Lin Fei's face darkened. "Are you threatening this emperor?" The black-robed man said, "You know whether it's a threat or not. It's up to you to do it. You have guts to threaten me in my territory. Who do you think you are?" Lin Fei slashed the black-robed man with the true self world annihilation sword in his hand. Brilliant light erupted from the black-robed man's body, and a terrifying power surged onto his body. His entire body was sent flying backwards, smashing into the palace wall. "If you dare threaten me again, I'll kill you with my sword." Lin Fei sheathed the true self world annihilation sword and stood proudly, revealing his killing intent. After he became a martial emperor, he realized that the prestige of a martial emperor was not to be blasphemed. Furthermore, the other party was threatening him in his own territory. "You're lucky I didn't kill you. I'm going to kill you." The black-robed man raged. "Shut up." The other black-robed man scolded and glared at him. He turned to Lin Fei and said, "We are from the Immortal Court. You should understand now, right?" Lin Fei's sword strike had indeed intimidated the other party. The black-robed man was able to withstand the sword strike, which was very surprising. Immortal Court, as expected. Then, don't tell me that you came to find me to tell me that you are from the Immortal Court? Lin Fei's expression didn't change. "You have a lot of potential, and your future is bright. We are inviting you to join our Immortal Court family. In just a short time, your name will spread throughout the entire universe, and your status will be 10,000 times higher than it is now. You'll truly be below one and above all." The black-robed man's words were filled with a devilish tone, causing one to be filled with fervor after hearing it. It was such a waste that this guy didn't become a salesman. Lin Fei couldn't help but admit that this guy's words were really good, and it really tempted him. "I'm sorry, I'm used to it, and I don't like to be restricted. I appreciate your good intentions." The black-robed man didn't reveal any anger, and said unhurriedly, as if he knew that this would happen, "There's no rush. Dean DeTian can think about it. Once you've thought it through, our doors will always be open to you." The two of them exchanged some more pleasantries before they left. "Immortal Court, it's really unexpected, right? They would come out to recruit me. The universe won't be peaceful anymore." Lin Fei muttered to himself. Back then, the Immortal Court was annihilated, and now the people of the Immortal Court have appeared again. It doesn't matter if he's really from the Immortal Court or not. The water in the universe isn't just a little deep. It's better for me to just stay in my own territory. Sigh, a storm is coming. Big Brother M.O., that guy clearly doesn't want to join our Immortal Court. This kind of person should be eliminated first, the injured, black-robed man said angrily. Emo-shan said, "Do you know what would have happened if you had acted just now?" Of course, it would have been Lin Fei dying in our hands. If it wasn't for the fact that we were too late, we would definitely have been able to block that sword. Emo-shan sneered, "Humph, you only know how to kill, kill, kill. Lin Fei's strength is very strong, not any weaker than you and I. Even if you and I join hands, we might not be able to kill him, and the ones who will die will definitely be us." The black-robed man was startled. "How is that possible?" Holy Heaven Academy laid down a primal chaos ominous array. What do you think? Primal chaos ominous array. The black-robed man's expression changed. Lin Fei is one of the candidates that we are considering. It would be best if he could be recruited. But it doesn't matter if he isn't recruited. Another day. Let's go to another place now. Half a month later, Great Metropolis World had long since become peaceful. Heaven Connecting Sect, Pill Cauldron Sect, Fire Alliance Allied Forces, Sword Immortal by D's faction, Wind Palace. 5 major forces appeared in Great Metropolis World. They had all met along the way. They all knew about their respective situations. Facing Great Metropolis World, their expressions were complicated. In an inconspicuous place, their people encountered a Waterloo, and they had no choice but to personally make a trip. Their expressions were not very good. After arriving in Great Metropolis World, they flew towards Holy Heaven Academy. Outside the academy, the void fluctuated. Waves of people walked out from the void. Holy Heaven Academy appeared in front of them. A terrifying aura caused the wind to howl. The distance from the academy to the outside was completely blocked. The disciples in the academy had calm expressions. They did what they were supposed to do, as if they did not care about the people of the 5 major forces outside. The people of the 5 major forces came with anger. They originally thought that once they made a move, the people of the academy would be scared out of their wits. When they saw the situation inside, they could not help but feel depressed. Why are these people so calm? Another group of idiots is here. There's going to be a good show later. A few disciples gathered together and laughed. The people of the 5 major forces looked sullen. They were actually looked down upon. They did not care about them at all. Di Tian, you killed our sword god senior brother. Are you not going to come out and give us an explanation? On the far left, an immortal sword immortal emperor said angrily, "If you know what's good for you, come out obediently. Don't think that an array can stop us. Believe it or not, we can destroy your Holy Heaven Academy in seconds." The 5 immortal sword immortal emperors mocked. Chapter 1281. Outside the college, Sha Wuhuan's 5 sword immortal disciples were taking turns to insult Di Tian. They wanted to force Di Tian to the point where he couldn't take it anymore and rush out to fight with them. They wanted to kill him on the spot. Di Tian was truly the strongest in the Great Sky World. If the 5 of them could kill him, they would be able to enter the Great Sky World, and the other 4 powers would be too ashamed to do anything. They were waiting for Di Tian to make a move. Sha Wuhuan's disciple is really scheming, using the slogan of taking revenge for Sword God to provoke Lin Fei, wanting to kill him in front of everyone. This way, they can test Lin Fei's true strength. A middle-aged man wearing a chin crown from the Pill Cauldron Gates leader thought to himself, "If Lin Fei is killed by the 5 of them, it's because he's not strong enough. If Sha Wuhuan's disciple dies, it's not bad either, saving us the trouble of losing people. Of course, it's also good that both sides are injured, one less competitor." Dan Qingzi was very proud. He ordered his men not to act rashly. Just watch the show. The title of being the strongest in the Great Sky World was worth paying attention to. That smiling tiger Dan Qingzi, it's obvious that he's scheming. At the Through Heaven Gate, there was a white-robed, middle-aged man with a black spear on his back. He was as tall as a person, and he looked away from Dan Qingzi. "You're good at scheming, so are everyone. Using Sha Wuhuan's disciple to test him is the best thing to do. As long as we can find out Lin Fei's weakness, it'll be easy to deal with him. Immortal Emperor Xiao Feng thought to himself. He didn't want to use his own people to test Lin Fei. When they came, there were orders from above. Unless it was absolutely necessary, it was best not to make a move. If they kept losing people, there through Heaven Gate would feel heartache. If they wanted to make a move, they had to kill in one strike and not give Lin Fei any chance. Immortal Emperor Xiao Feng didn't dare to act rashly. An elder from the Wind Palace came. This elder was quite angry with the Holy Heavens Academy. In the great sky world, there was an amazing Lin Fei. His emperor title was Di Tian, and he was so arrogant that this Wind Palace elder wanted to teach him a lesson. Unexpectedly, they beat him to it. All of you listen up. Once Di Tian makes his move and starts fighting with them, we'll charge in and rescue them. At that time, we'll take care of Di Tian properly. The Wind Palace elder gave the order. Bullying the weak? The people of Wind Palace did not even think about it. In their eyes, the Holy Heavens Academy was just a relatively powerful ant, worried about being criticized by others, who dared to speak ill of Wind Palace. Even though the Wind Palace was one of the 12 palaces, no one dared to say anything about the 12 palaces. The Fire Alliance was a joint force. They had arranged for a few representatives to come over, but their overall strength was relatively weak. They were waiting to watch a good show. In any case, it was not their turn to make a move on Lin Fei. There was already someone more anxious than them who would be the first to make a move. Since it was already like this, they might as well sit down and watch the show calmly. Di Tian, are you a coward? Last time, he must have used some tricks to win. Sha Wuhuan's 5 disciples were constantly provoking Lin Fei. Sure enough, like senior brother, like junior brother. Lin Fei appeared in the sky above the academy in a black robe and said with a face of disgust, "Attack! Avenge senior brother, sword god." As soon as the 5 sword immortals attacked, the world changed color. Each of them was at the peak of the 2nd step of the Immortal Emperor realm, and their combat strength could reach the 3rd step of the Immortal Emperor realm. In addition to the attack power of the sword immortals, they were an unstoppable nightmare for the enemy. The 5 sword immortals were even stronger than the sword god prince. They still had the trump card left behind by their master, so they would not attack unless it was a critical moment. Die! Sword silks whistled over. They were as soft as silk threads and wrapped around Lin Fei's body. Another sword immortal took the opportunity to stab at Lin Fei's glabella. They were quite cooperative. Lin Fei did not think much of it. The true self-world annihilation sword landed in his hand and slashed upwards. The sword intent swept across the incoming sword immortal. With the support of the power of the great Tao, the sword immortal's body exploded. You can't even withstand a single blow. Lin Fei shook his head and killed a sword immortal with one strike. Junior brother Xuanhu. The other 4 cried out involuntarily. They had just attacked and lost a sword immortal. Wait, don't attack. The Wind Palace elder, who was about to attack, immediately stopped his subordinates from charging into the academy. He killed a 2nd step Immortal Emperor sword immortal with one strike. How could his attack power be more terrifying than a sword immortal's? It was not surprising that Lin Fei killed a sword immortal with one strike. The power of the great Tao had increased exponentially with the true self world annihilation sword. It was not something a mere sword immortal could withstand. In front of me, you are not qualified to attack. Boom! Lin Fei's aura surged into the sky. He was the only one who was supreme and lawless. As soon as the aura was suppressed, everyone was shocked. The great Tao in their bodies trembled uncontrollably as if they had encountered a terrifying enemy. What a terrifying great Tao! What kind of great Tao is this? I have never heard of it. The bodies of the remaining 4 sword immortals trembled as they released their terrifying auras. They were suppressed and could not move. They struggled to break free with great difficulty, but their attack power weakened. Lin Fei strolled over and slashed with the long sword in his hand. Blood splattered everywhere. A sword light flew past, and 3 heads flew. The immortal armor with strong defense could not block Lin Fei's terrifying sword. "I'll fight it out with you." The last sword immortal's eyes were filled with fear. He took out a sword talisman and tore it at Lin Fei. His eyes were filled with hatred. "Go to hell!" Whoosh! A sword intent that could destroy heaven and earth swept out. This is Xiao Wuhuan's sword intent. What a strong killing intent! The leaders of the 4 major forces were shocked. Xiao Wuhuan had personally condensed a sword intent. This showed how much hatred he had for Lin Fei. Ordinary people would not be willing to do this. It was time-consuming, and the success rate was extremely low. Tian, I want you to die. Die without a burial place. As soon as the killing intent was released, a strong killing intent locked onto Lin Fei. It's just a sword intent. Sword of reincarnation. Lin Fei shouted, the second move of the invincible sword technique. A black vortex appeared in front of him, facing the terrifying sword intent. Boom! When the black vortex and the terrifying sword intent met, a shocking sound was heard. Boundless sword intent flew out, but its power was not as terrifying as before. This is your real killing move, right? Unfortunately, it's useless. Lin Fei came in front of that sword immortal and shook his head lightly. He stabbed out and pierced through the sword immortal's forehead, leaving behind a corpse that fell from the sky. He blocked that. Unbelievable. Tian's sword cultivation is not inferior to sword immortals at all. That sword blocked Xiao Wuhuan's terrifying sword intent. In the blink of an eye, 5 sword immortals died one after another. Their killing moves could not hurt Tian. After witnessing the power of the strongest person in the great sky world, they looked at Lin Fei again with fear in their eyes. This was a terrifying enemy. Everyone, if anyone is not satisfied with me, feel free to attack me. I'll take them all. Lin Fei looked around. No one dared to look at him directly. The corner of his mouth rose, revealing a smile. Principal Tian, you must be joking. We're here as guests. Tong Tian's sex immortal emperor Xiaofeng said. Dan Qingzi also said, yes, we're here as guests.